Buffalo blows, and so do the Bills. Oh!
It's an illegal ID. It's not real.
WQAM at 411.
Well, she kissed Al Roker, said goodbye to Ann and Matt. She's at CBS now. Yeah, she's at CBS. Even though she had big ratings, all the critics say the news is a mess now. Yeah, they say it's a mess. They don't like the clothes she wears, but we have to make one thing perfectly clear. Katie Couric don't care 'cause she's making $50 million a year. All the bloggers on the net are going crazy at their little computers. Yeah, they're HP and Dell, acting like a bunch of drunken sailors out on leave and hanging at Hooters. Well, it's all gone to hell. Well, so far she's let Charlie Gibson and Brian Williams way back in the rear. Katie is kicking butt and she's making $50 million a year. Well, she's asking for America's help to come up with a snappy sign-off. Yeah, she needs a sign-off. That's a dumber idea than when her company hired David Lee Roth. Yeah, I'm glad that he's off. She's been beaten up so bad that the poor lady might be boxing headgear. Katie Couric don't care 'cause she's making $50 million a year. Well, the media is buzzing. Everyone is whipped up into a lather. Yeah, it's such a sin. And the only one that's happy is that crazy narcissistic Dan Rather. He's got a big goofy grin. All the mean things being said might make a mere mortal break down and shed a tear. Katie Couric don't care 'cause she's making $50 million a year.
I just can't stand that slut.
Amen. 10:02 at 560 WQAM. She's small potatoes when you got Alita Loresca, right?
Right.
Looks like she's got big potatoes.
Yes.
I don't get it. I looked at those pictures. Now, maybe
potatoes.
she just doesn't photograph very well.
That's her.
But if she doesn't photograph very well, how could she be so sexy on TV? Well, anyway, WSVN Channel 7's Alita Loresca has won the title America's Sexiest Newscaster in an online vote by readers of FHM magazine. She's pictured in the October issue in rather revealing attire. Oh, they're all going to go out there and racing out to buy FHM. Well, what does that mean? What does FHM mean?
F her, man. For Him magazine.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh. Alita's done more than Ace Ventura to protect South Florida, the magazine quips, and she's done it with a better figure than Al Roker. Well, that's saying quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, if they don't stop running that promo where he's like high-stepping, you know, and he's, it just makes you want to vomit. Loresca, 29, born in the Philippines, is a former orbit writer for
Philippines. There it is. That's it.
Oh, Filipino. Oh, brother.
Yeah, should have guessed it.
How come she's not here then? Because all of the Philippines that's not in the Philippines is in Toronto, believe me. Loresca, 29, born in the Philippines, is former obit writer for the Orange County Register, FHM says. Among her quotes, people in Miami embrace curves. Here I can wear a cute sweater and still be professional. Right. She also talks about getting hired at Channel 7. When I auditioned, they wanted to know if I could deal with anything thrown my way. Then we had hurricanes every week for my first 6 weeks. I repeated stuff I heard the night before on the Weather Channel. I'd mentioned Northeast Quadrant because it sounded smart. I even went to the bookstore and got a copy of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Weather. Isn't that great? Oh, she's the weather, is she a news person or a weather lady?
Weather lady.
Oh, and so in other words, she's not a meteorologist then?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, no, she wouldn't have had to go to... She wouldn't have had to be watching the Weather Channel to get pointers on what... She's not. She's just a phony weather lady.
A weather
Probably
bunny.
like Jackie Johnson. There's another one that all the guys got all whipped up. Oh, my God, Jackie. You're like, yeah, and she was a donkey face. I don't care what anybody says. She was marginal, and this broad's got a big round face, and you're talking about like Eskimo and stuff like that. You should hear what George was saying before.
Filipino, yeah. I guessed Inuit.
No, there are very beautiful Filipino people. It's just that she ain't one of them. She's not even close. But that's all right. She's no, Brian Norcross. She's no Miss Kamal, although perhaps just a little bit more feminine. This story from Lantana, this takes the cake. This is good. Only in Lantana, folks. A father broke his leg trying to cure his daughter's fear of heights. Troy Stewart. What was his name again?
Troy
Stewart. No relation to Dan Stewart.
Oh, we're fine.
And his 10-year-old daughter, Megan, were on their daily bike ride Monday evening when Stewart suggested they jump off a 15-foot bridge as a way of curing the girl's fear of heights. Well, they could have come up here and they could have jumped off the Seagram Tower together. And she'd never fear heights again. Megan made the jump into the Intracoastal Waterway safely, but her 31-year-old father ended up with a broken leg.
All right.
A real rocket scientist. Nice going, Troy. At first he said, do you want to do it or not? Megan said, I thought it's kind of high, and then he's like, trust me. Trust me, honey. Stewart was able to get out of the water and waited nearby after Megan rode her bike the half-mile home and alerted her mother, who called authorities. In his mind, he was playing, said Mandy Potter, 32, of her partner of 10 years, but I don't condone his child's play. He was playing. Stewart was not charged with the crime since Megan jumped willingly. However, officials from the State Department of Children and Families plan to interview him. This is an example of what not to do as a parent, Police Captain Andy Rundle said, and let this be a good lesson to everybody. Somebody's tried it, and it's not a good idea. I'll tell you, Robbie Benson tried it at the Tallahatchie Bridge. Didn't work out too well for him either. Remember that?
Yeah, how did it happen? How did it go?
Hey, Robbie.
You fairy.
No, not for real.
Man.
Well, he did stuff in that tent,
Yes,
you know.
he did.
He got a little tense about it. Got some very bad news on the death scene. Maybe we're the only ones that care about this, except for the people that really know who she was. Ann Richards is dead. I loved Ann Richards. Didn't you like her a lot?
She was great.
She's what the Democratic Party ought to be, man. She had a big mouth, and she let people have it, and she was great. Ann Richards, the silver-haired Texas activist who galvanized the 88th Democratic National Convention with her tart keynote speech and was the state's 45th governor until upset in 1994 by an underestimated challenger named George W. Bush, died yesterday at her home in Austin. She was 73. Ms. Richard died surrounded by her 4 kids of complications from esophageal cancer. You think all her boozing had to do with that? People
Maybe.
that booze a lot generally smoke a lot, don't they? Don't they go like hand in hand?
Yes, generally, but not necessarily.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. Ms. Richards was the most recent and one of the most effective in a long line of Lone Star State progressives who vied for control of Texas in the days when it was largely a one-party Democratic enclave, a champion of civil rights, gay rights, and feminism. Her defeat by the future president was one of the chief markers of the end of generations of Democratic dominance in Texas and the beginning of the end for the human race. So cemented was her celebrity on the national stage, however, that she appeared in national advertising campaigns, including one for snack chips, and was a lawyer and lobbyist for Public Strategies and Werner Lipford Bernhard McPherson in hand. Poor George, he can't help it, Ms. Richards said at the Democratic Convention in '88, speaking about the current president's father, former President George Herbert Walker Bush. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth, she said. Her Hasidic, I didn't know she was Jewish. Her Hasidic, plain-spoken keynote address was one of the year's political highlights and catapulted the one-term Texas governor into a national figure. And she was on Larry King a lot. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
We're going to tell how the cow ate the cabbage, he said, bringing the great tradition of vernacular Southern oratory to the national political stage in a way that transformed the mother of 4 into a revered icon of feminist activism. Does it say any more here about why she had the, because that's what we want to know. Oh, yeah. She began to drink heavily, going into rehab, a move that she later credited with saving her life and her political career. After her divorce, she got divorced. Well, you know, those marriages, man, they'll kill you. In 1992, she was chairwoman of the convention that first nominated Bill Clinton. 2 years later, she underestimated her young Republican challenger from West Texas, going so far as to refer to George W. Bush as some jerk, a comment that drew considerable criticism, but of course now we know that was a compliment. Later, she acknowledged that the younger candidate had been much more effective at staying on message and made none of the mistakes that her campaign strategist had expected. She was beaten 53. Later, she acknowledged that the younger candidate had been much more effective at staying on message and made none of the mistakes that her campaign strategist had expected. She was beaten 53 to 46%. She co-wrote several books. On her 60th birthday, she got her first motorcycle license, but she didn't jump off any bridges or whatever. Well, there you go. Nothing more about her esophageal, but I think, a lot of boozing and, of course, a lot of smoking that goes along with it. So Ann Richards is dead, and that's bad news. She was 73, which ain't really that old. Not when you're 64. When you're 25, 73 sounds like, oh, my God, one of those old farts like we see all over South Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But when you're 91 like my mother was, 73 is like a child, right? Everything, it all depends on your personal perspective. It depends on your swishful thinking. Here's the poll from yesterday, 1,580 votes. Well, I'll tell you, the votes are pouring in on these polls. Have you noticed?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. We got 747 right now. It's a beauty. It's a KLM 747. Kevin Krul, take your seats. Oh, you just got to love those Dutch.
Yeah.
What person sums up what America is today? Paris Hilton, man. They hate her like poison, and deservedly so. As a matter of fact, guess who's leading today's poll by a mile?
I give up.
Paris Hilton.
Oh, how about that? Look, I'm looking at it right now.
Wouldn't that be something? I don't think, have we ever had anybody win a poll 2 days in a row?
Only
we could do that by putting, like, who do you hate the most? And, Bush could win every day, but what would be the point in that? We know what he is. Paris Hilton, 513. George W., 413, a very respectable but nevertheless somewhat distant second. She beat him by 100 votes. How do you like that? Paris Hilton. She is the epitome, the epitome of what America has become. The celebration of mediocrity, the celebration of no talent, the celebration of garbage, crap. Like Katie Couric, for example. That bitch. No talent. I'm not going to say she's got, I'm not going to mince my words. She has no talent.
Okay.
She can't interview. She looks like hell on wheels. She's got a very weak delivery. But other than that, she's a great talent. 15 freaking million a year to go on there and come in number 3. They already were number 3, and they were probably paying Bob Schieffer, what, about $75 an hour a week?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you Josh Cordes is making more money than Bob Schieffer was making.
Oh, yeah.
It costs a lot for those Depends, though. I hate this poll, 136. They didn't like that poll. Well, they liked it. Let's see. Today, I hate this poll has got only 2.7%. Why do I care about what percentage is? See, when they think that I really care about what that percentage is, a lot more than vote for that club pisses me off. I really don't care what you vote for. T.O. Terrell Owens, 103. Is T.O. like Stanford Toronto or like Terrell Owens? 103. Katie Couric, 100. Yeah, and I think I voted for Paris Hilton, but I think Katie Couric is the right answer with her. I turned it on for about 3 seconds last night just to take a look at whether she still had the heavy-duty mascara and the black eye. Mm-hmm. And she does. Donald Trump, 72, who shouts, who barks at the microphone. He's barking on those PSAs he does on NBC. He's an idiot. Nice hairdo, though. Pat Robertson, 68, glib, drooling nutcase, a real getchkey. Tom Cruise, 49.
You fairy.
P. Diddy, also better known as
You fairy.
40. How come nobody ever talks about him being in there with John Travolta and R. Kelly? Huh?
I don't know.
He was married to J-Lo.
That's right.
Well, that's all you need to know. Jerry Falwell, 35. Rita Cosby, 31. Oh, I wonder if I still have any of that stuff on here. Do you think? That would be great.
Oh, you better.
Anything about that? That maybe something happened to him mentally, or maybe some depressive drug that he was taking.
I still say it's not possible to believe that she could be on the air. It's just, although they did have a woman on this morning on MSNBC on the same network that gives you Rita Cosby, who sounded like she was gargling with razor blades and was talking underwater. Am I right?
Right.
It sounded like a malfunction at the junction, but that was the
sounds
woman's
like
voice.
she needs help. She's in
Wow.
trouble.
Although she was just a talking head, just a guest, but at least she wasn't on the payroll. And Shaq came in dead last, only 20. Well, I don't think most Americans have a head that big. So that's our poll from yesterday. Lineup today, what day is it? Thursday. We got Mad Dog 2 to 4. Well, you know that afternoon lineup. Thank God. I'm so glad they finally listened to me. The Power Hour with Hank and the Mad Dog between 4 and 5 together again, which is maybe the most expensive hour in history. Hank Goldberg solo, 2 hours today. Oh, the Marlins lost again last night. Dang it. What was it, 11 innings?
Yeah.
What was it, 7 to 4?
Yeah.
I think it was 4-4, and then I think the Mets must have scored 3 in the top of the 11th because that's...
They did, yeah.
I know. Hurricane Hotline at GameWorks in the shops at Sunset Place at 7 to 9, and then the Beast also in the same joint from 9 to 10 with more of that hurricane droppings. And then Eddie K, 10 tonight.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
No!
Neil Rogers.
Patricia McGillicuddy is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell her story, we hired an actual celebrity, Mr. Mel Gibson.
I was on my way to Sunday dinner with the family when I accidentally hit a cow.
I wondered if it was a Holstein cow. Hey, Holstein sounds Jewish.
I called Geico expecting to get a recording, but someone was there to help me.
Yeah. You know something? Jewish cows cause most of the accidents in the world.
Geico got my claim in the works right away, and I was actually able to enjoy dinner.
And the main course was ham. Lots of ham, baby. You know, my father always told me not to trust anyone who doesn't eat ham.
Geico. Real service, real savings, real insane celebrities.
10:19 at 560 WQAM. You see, that's the sad part, is that everybody talks crap, in public. Behind the scenes, most people are bigoted as hell. They hate blacks and Jews and whatever, goyim. But in public, it's like, oh, well, we have to be very politically correct, and everybody loves each other. Well, if everybody loved each other, the world would be a wonderful place, wouldn't it? What a wonderful world it would be, says Art Garfunkel and Sam Cooke. Wasn't it Art Garfunkel who butchered that song? brought that back?
I think so.
Reprised it? Huh?
I'll find out.
Or was it Paul Simon? No, it was Art Garfunkel, trust me. Whatever happened to Art Garfunkel?
I don't know.
He kind of vanished. Paul Simon went on solo and made a big-ass career, which maybe that means Paul Simon's a hell of a lot more talented than Art Garfunkel.
Paul was the one that wrote all the tunes.
Right.
So he was able to keep going.
I can't believe you don't like the Yo Frankie album, man. That really pisses me off. You're always bitching about my bad taste in music. That's just unconscionable. What? Well, what? It's a great album.
Okay.
In fact, when I get that, which you're sending it to me, I don't want to go out and buy it again.
Yeah,
it's not
you should
that
have
good.
it maybe today or tomorrow. I don't know. Mailed
Well,
it
good.
4 or 5.
And I'm going to actually play some of that tomorrow. That written on the subway wall, and there's like a little. I don't know why they do that. I guess these recording stars, they drop in on each other's recording sessions, you know, or maybe they happen to be like they both were for Columbia, I guess. Am I right?
I guess.
Once upon a time. No, I don't think Dion's on Columbia anymore. Well, whatever the hell it is. And so he does like a little, maybe like 10 words on that written on the subway wall. He does that twinkle, twinkle, little star. What is that?
What a wonderful world.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear Louis Armstrong. Oh, come on. Take the hanky and wipe that off. And the song, too. This is going to get some people really whipped up into a frenzy. Now, who do we believe? ThinkProgress.org reports that Air America Radio will announce a major restructuring tomorrow, which is expected to include a bankruptcy filing.
Oh, my God. 3
independent sources have told Think Progress. Although they say, oh, no. Every time this comes up, they say, oh, no. And, of course, it hasn't happened yet. What did I tell you about Air America? They got 2 chances, none and much less than none, in spite of her brilliance. Air America could remain on the air under the deal, but significant personnel changes are already in the works. Sources say 5 Air America employees were laid off yesterday, and were told there would be no severance without capital infusion or bankruptcy. They were told there would be no severance without capital infusion or bankruptcy. Also, Air America has ended its relationship with host Jerry Springer. That worked out really well. Again, a case. See, this is another one of these people. It's like Eddie Murphy, you know. He was very funny, but he couldn't sing for crap, you know.
Right.
Well, no, it's true. All these people who want to be everything to everybody, like Regis, although he seems to get away with it. I don't know why.
I don't either. Deal with the devil, Satan?
Well, no, basically because everything he does is pretty much the same. He's just kind of like a bland host on some stupid-ass show, whether it's America's Got Talent or Regis and Kelly, whatever it is, you know. I mean, I like Regis, other than he's a big Notre Dame, although I love Notre Dame, man. See, that's the kind of fag that I am, you know. All my life, because I went to Michigan State, I hated Michigan like poison. That's the #1 rivalry, man, Michigan and Michigan State. Then when I saw Tom Brady playing for Michigan, I became a big Michigan fan. All my life, I've hated Notre Dame. Just the whole touchdown Jesus and that whole, oh, man, the attitude of the athletic department there. If you lose one game, they're going to, like, crucify you. And then here came Brady Quinn, and now all of a sudden I'm rooting for Notre Dame. Does that make me a real screamer? Okay, just checking. So anyway, Jerry Springer is going bye-bye on Air America. No loss. I tell you, he made almost as much of an impact on radio in this market as Bill O'Reilly has with his point.
That's brutal.
Oh, that's the station that Mo is going to be on. 850, FTL Jr. It says the right wing is sure to seize on Air America's financial woes as a sign that, and see, here's part of the problem right here. Progressive talk radio is unpopular. Progressive, not liberal. See, this is another example of how the Democrats are such a bunch of wimps. Let's look at it. There's the right and the left politically, right?
Okay.
There's conservative and liberal, not progressive. Nobody says, oh, I'm a progressive. But they made liberal such a dirty word that they don't want to use that anymore.
Have to stop using that now.
Yeah, so the Democrats, again, get suckered into, the BS. It says, in fact, Air America succeeded in creating something that didn't exist, a progressive talk radio format. What? That format is now established and strong and will continue with or without Air America. Indeed, many of the country's most successful and widely syndicated progressive talk hosts, Ed Schultz and Stephanie Miller, for example, aren't even associated with Air America. Ed Schultz, didn't you tell me he's really weak?
Yes, he was. He sounded like the Sheik.
Oh, no. The Sheik of Araby or just the Sheik from IOD? Not that Sheik.
That one, yeah.
Oh, no. The Sheik. He was Neil without the drops. Isn't that what he was?
That's what Steve Nichols said.
Come on, Neil, you can do better than that.
He sounded a little like Prozac Ron when you come right down to it.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. Radio giant Clear Channel is so committed to progressive talk radio that this week it'll announce a partnership with the Center for American Progress and MSS Inc. to conduct a nationwide search for the next progressive talk radio star. Oh, boy. Now, Air America responded to this thing from thinkprogress.org. They said, if Air America had filed for bankruptcy every time someone rumored it to be doing so, we would have ceased to exist a long time ago. It may be frustrating to some that this hasn't happened. No decision has been taken to make any filing of any kind. We're not sure of the source of these rumors and, frankly, cannot respond to every rumor in the marketplace. That was their response. Well, we'll find out tomorrow, because this says they're going to announce a major restructuring. And, of course, if they did let a bunch of 5 employees off yesterday, that certainly doesn't bode well for their future, does it?
No.
Air America. And so what would they put on 940 again? How about another sports? How about another go around with Fox 940, whatever that was?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It'll only help us.
Losing thing across the street, he can go back to 940. And Joe Rose can go over there. And what's his name? Zach Krantz with that fat ass in his pants. And all the other former QAMers. Because that place across the street, I'm hearing a lot of things about them. In fact, Josh was just telling me this morning. A lot more rumors. Here's our poll for today, by the way. Don't say this and don't say that and don't play fart sounds and don't do this. Yeah. Don't help us out with the show, by the way, Joe. Don't, get on top of those things that we need for the show, but don't, 804 votes on the poll. No, it's just the same, but you're right. I don't care. Good. Just get the check there a couple of days early payday. I don't care. I can sit here and play Rita Cosby tapes.
All the time.
Oh, no, I want her. Actually, who is that? She looks pretty good, whoever that was, on CNN. Somebody human.
So sad. Here's the joy of this moment, and then it turns to the other. One of the things, there's a report out there that maybe dealing with depression. Do we know anything about...
that story is getting freakier. Not that we really should care about that, because, number one, we don't care about Anna Nicole Smith unless you're an idiot. And even with all the weight she lost, she's still a cow and a real slut. Other than that, I mean, it's sad. It's a horrible story. The kid was 20 years old. And quite frankly, it didn't always look all that bad once upon a time before it got real schmutzy.
Right.
See, like I said yesterday, if somebody looks good, we care about them. If they're ugly, who cares? No loss,
No, but it is a mystery.
Like when Soupy Sales dies, is anybody going to care about that except for
Who?
Chicken Neck? Of course not. Oh, don't start with who with Soupy Sales.
I know.
If you knew Soupy like I knew. 807 votes. Something or someone I don't want to hear about. No mo. Paris Hilton, she's got it licked 2 days in a row, 225. Nobody's going to touch her ass. The War on Terror, 100. The War on Terror. See, they make up these stupid expressions and buzzwords, and then the media latches like Operation Iraqi Freedom, and the War on Terror. Tom Cruise, 93. Let's have a war on Tom. Baby Suri, 86, right under Tom. George W. Bush, 82. Well, you're going to hear a lot more, unfortunately. John Mark Carr, 70. And notice we don't hear any more about him, and thank God. 9/11, 56. Yeah, I don't want to say they overdid the anniversary just a little bit, but actually it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like wall to wall. It was just kind of like wall to the middle of the room. Barry Bonds, 28. A lot of drugs, man. Every home run he hits is another infamia, another insult to the human race. I hate this poll, 22, 2.7%. That's more like it. But they'll goose that up to piss us off. Israel, 19. Only 19. We've got a lot of Farbissen out there, all the Zionists, all the time. Mo Howard, well, no, actually, I don't want to hear any more about Israel because, well, you know why? Because I don't read the right stories. Mo Howard David at only 17. They want to hear a lot more about Mo. But we won't disappoint, believe me. Brad Pitt, 5. He got my vote. I'm just tired of him. I'm tired of everything about him. He's a mediocre actor. He used to look good a long time, 20 years ago. Now he's got 80 tons of pancake makeup on to cover up his zits. His horrible... He makes James Woods look good. That's how bad his complexion is.
That's a shot.
No, I'm just telling you. What's the big simus with him? All we hear about is Brad this. In fact, you know where Brad is right now?
I give up.
Guess where he is? What city?
Toronto.
Film Festival, that's right. I could probably go out in the street right now. Hey, Brad! Oh, God, are you gross? And he'd probably say the same to me. And Iraq, only 4. They want to hear a lot more about Iraq and the great job that the U.S. is doing there. Oh, don't buy that. I got a spot to do here. That was bad. Wasn't that bad?
Nah.
Well, I caught it pretty quick.
On the first bounce. What?
Well, that was kind of like that ID we did at the top of the hour. That was good.
That non-ID?
Right. FM, isn't that the thing that the weather lady's on, that Filipino chick with the big round head? 29 past 10 at QAM. If it's time for the mattress to be replaced, do what I've been doing for about 100 years. Do something smart for once in your life. Instead of wasting time and money and gas slipping all over town, here's the deal. Just sit there on your big, fat, ugly ass and make one easy call to dial a mattress. That's all it takes. You'll get yourself factory direct prices lower than the chain stores, even during their so-called big sales. Plus, Dial a Mattress has got 12-month financing, too. Call 1-800-MATTRESS. You'll get the lowest prices on the best brands in the world, including, of course, Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns, and Foster Hewitt. Dial a Mattress continues to be ranked #1 in the world in customer satisfaction because their prices are unbeatable, the selection is the best in the world, and they offer you a 99.7% on-time delivery rate with a deal that's unheard of. You pick the date and time, a 2-hour window that's convenient for you, and that's when they show up any day, 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., even the same day that you call. So if you call them right now, you can be sleeping like a baby in real comfort as soon as tonight. Call them right now. You'll be glad you did. Dial a Mattress, toll free. It's 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for Stupendous Savings.
The biggest names of best talent. Solid. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Last toy.
I'll have you know, that's my very last toy.
Hey, that's what Mo once told me. Too many doys in the world, or is that goys? One or the other. 10:35. There's Ann Richards on there. Look at that. She was great.
And what was the gift? Well, I think part of the guidance was her father. She talked about being a young girl.
Oh, that's okay. I thought we were going to hear her, but of course they're I like that. Would you rather hear her speeches than hear these idiots pontificating?
Any day.
Anyway, that Anna Nicole story, even though we're not really supposed to care about that very much, but that's turning out to be a little bit bizarre.
That's why we care, because it's a mystery.
Yeah.
And that's a
Anna
mystery,
Nicole
too.
Smith frantically tried to revive her stricken son and had to be sedated after he died, her attorney said yesterday. Authorities termed the death suspicious and said criminal charges could be filed. Daniel Smith died Sunday while visiting his mother in a hospital, reality TV star and former Playboy playmate Slut, in her hospital room 3 days after she gave birth to a baby girl. The devastation and grief over Daniel's sudden death, coupled with the sedation, has been so extreme that Anna Nicole experienced memory loss of the event, attorney Michael Scott said. By the way, I'm really worried about our poll guy, Sean. You know, so even though we prodded him a couple of times and we never got no poll out, maybe he's out of ideas or maybe he died.
Maybe he left town.
Maybe he got smart and got out of town. Or maybe he got blown away in a hurricane. The chief inspector of the Bahamas Coroner's Office on Wednesday called the death of the 20-year-old Smith suspicious, and a formal inquiry that could lead to criminal charges was scheduled for next month. Police also revealed that a third person was in the hospital room at the time of the death. But Scott said that the third person was another one of Anna Nicole's attorneys, Howard K. Stern. Oh, Howard Stern was in the room. No wonder there's suspicious stuff going on. He said Anna Nicole Smith and Stern continued efforts to revive Smith even after he had been proclaimed dead by the staff at Doctors Hospital in Nassau. Anna Nicole was so distraught at the loss of Daniel, she refused to leave his side and was necessary to sedate her in order to check her out of the hospital, Scott read from a prepared statement. He said she suffered memory loss and that it was necessary for Howard to tell Anna again that Daniel had died. Authorities said they believe they know what killed Smith, but we're waiting for a toxicology report to confirm the findings. That's tomorrow. But there's a lot of heavy-duty stuff coming up tomorrow.
Sure enough.
Right? Man, including that thing about the guy that thinks he won that court of memory. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, no. He said she suffered from memory loss. It was necessary. I just read that. Authorities said they believe they know what killed Smith. Anna Nicole Smith, who went to the U.S. Supreme Court this year to sue for that inheritance, was in seclusion in the Bahamas with family and friends. Bad things happen in the Bahamas, man. Look at that Natalie Holloway. She floated away. Maybe this is in the Bermuda Triangle. The identity of the newborn girl's father, by the way, hasn't been publicly disclosed. Maybe she just doesn't know who it is. You'd expect any parent who sustained this kind of loss to seek seclusion, Scott said. A jury inquest, which will be open to the public, is scheduled to start October 23rd, and Anna Nicole will be required to attend. Whenever there's a suspicious death, we would have an inquest to determine how the person died, Bradley Neely, chief inspector of the coroner's office, told the A&P. The autopsy and toxicology reports, will not be made until the inquest is held because they don't want to prejudice the jury. So, in other words, we're thinking tomorrow, and guess again, so they can milk this another month. Jurors will meet in a courtroom inside a weathered pink pastel judicial building in the seaside capital of Nassau. A real toilet. Seaside capital, my ass. What a toilet that is. You ever been in the Bahamas, Mon?
No, sir.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
I have not.
Oh, that's one place you do not want to go.
I can see it from here. It's all right.
Oh, fair.
I had a good time because I've gone with Hank 4 times and everything was free.
Everything was free and all you did was spend your time in a casino plunging your guts out, or he did anyway.
And drinking. And eating.
Right, eating and drinking and eating, joking and farting, I know.
Dining and dancing.
Right, dining and dancing with, what's his name, Joey Carr. Dining and dancing. Is he dead yet or what for Carr? All the good people like Ann Richards die, and Joey Carr is probably still alive. Dining and dancing, well, what a clown he is. No, his brother's name's Steve Cohen, and his name is Joey Carr. I can't stand these show business people with fake names.
Really?
Virgil said there was no sign of physical injury to Smith, who was seen helping make his 38-year-old mother comfortable before he died. See, this makes it even worse. He was making her comfortable. Oh, maybe he did have a bad heart. Maybe he had some kind of a congenital heart defect. Who the hell knows? Scott dismissed media reports that her son had antidepressants or other drugs in the system. It's sheer speculation, irresponsible, may I point out, he told reporters. No drug paraphernalia or traces of illegal drugs were found on him in the hospital room or near the room.
Illegal drugs.
He was the son... Huh?
Illegal drugs.
How about legal drugs? Well, then, see, there you go again,
There
too.
I go.
How
I'm
do you
speculating.
know? You're just picking on this kid because he's her son. And, of course, if you were her son, you'd probably be doing a lot of drugs, too, even more than you're doing now. Well,
Sure.
Daniel was the son of Anna Nicole and Bill Smith. Oh, I think he used to work at KAT, Bill Smith. And also IOD with Sandy Payton, lovely lady, who married now a different Bill Smith, married in 85, divorced 2 years later. The son had small roles in her movie Skyscraper and To the Limit. He also appeared on the E-reality series The Anna Nicole Show, which you said you watched, and was really bad. Was it as bad as Throwing Up Gotti?
I only saw like 2 episodes of it.
Was it as bad as Throwing Up Gotti?
Nothing was worse.
Nothing could be worse
than
than
Throwing Up
that.
Gotti. Nothing.
I mean, you talk about a Guido show. Man, I think the Italian Defamation League ought to protest that was ever on here. And that also was an A&E thing. A&E is just totally thrown in the towel because they know that there are 7 intellectual people in America, or even pseudo-intellectuals, and everybody else is a dumb slob. So that's why we got Dog the Bounty Hunter 85 times, and we got that goofball. I just can't remember his name. I've got a brain fart on it. That does all the magic. What is his name?
Chris
Angel. What do they call him? The nut job.
Gonzo magician. I don't know.
No. They've got a name. The mind freak.
Yeah, there it is. Mind freak.
No, seriously, they got some kind of a. You don't know what it is?
Mind
Josh
freak.
watches that show all the time.
I keep saying it.
Oh yeah, it's
Mind freak.
That's really what it is. Well, I said that already. The mind.
I know.
Well, what kind of a thing is that for A&E?
Freaky.
A mind freak. All they got is a bunch of idiotic shows on there, geared for a bunch of dumb punks who are wearing their pants down to their ankles. 848 votes. You know something? We're doing so good now. We don't even have to discuss the 1,000 is like falling off a log, wouldn't you say?
Uh-huh.
No, seriously, that's how popular. I would like to have like 5,000 votes on there every day, which would mean that I still think it would be a good idea for you to spend the money in the USA Today to promote our website, just neilrogers.com, you know. I don't know how you go about it or what we would say, but yeah, and then so we get hits, and then of course more people will be listening online. Then we could be almost a little bit dangerous.
The
Not
biggest
much.
names, the
Little
best
teeny tiny.
talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Made your decision for Christ.
Yes. I've been to Iraq 9 times in the last 3 years. I've seen bombs and blood. I've seen death and democracy. I've seen a lot. But what have I heard? That's easy. Lionel Richie.
Well, my friends, the time has come to raise the roof, blow up someone. You don't need to shoot any guns. Get out there and plant bombs. Hide the mines out there in the streets. They better watch where they put their feet. We're going to party while we dig and hide those explosives and listen to those Lionel tunes all night long. All night, all night, all night. Roadside bomb. All night, all night, all night. Sing night song. All night, all night. Playing roadside bomb. All night, all night, all night. We'll get the enemy and tend to Lionel Richie all night long. All night, all night. We'll do it secretly. Hide bombs under the street. Roadside bomb. All night, all night. Hey!
In a country torn apart by sectarian divisions, the one thing Sunnis and Shiites share is a complete and utter devotion to Lionel Richie. They are a united legion for Lionel.
I wonder if he's kid of that great truck driver, Trevor Richie.
Who?
Or Fat Richie. But at any rate, I like the Commodores a lot. And then I stop and think, well, Lionel Richie was in the Commodores. Maybe I don't like him quite so much.
Right.
He gives me, I don't like him.
Spilkies?
That's it. Speaking of that, Democratic gubernatorial nominee Jim Davis named former State Senator Darrell Jones as his running mate today. And, of course, everybody's all whipped up about candidates' running mates, right, for lieutenant governor. But this is a choice that could lead to the first black lieutenant governor in Florida history. How do you like that? Davis made the official announcement at the Broward County Library, joined by the House State Democratic leader Chris Smith of Fort Lauderdale and incoming House Democratic leader Dan Gelber of Miami Beach, both considered as possible Davis running mates. The first black lieutenant governor in Florida history. Well, you got to make your progress very slowly, one teeny step at a time. Isn't that the way it works?
Yep.
You've got to know your place. Just like that school bus driver. Remember that put the black students on the back of the bus? Remember that story about a month ago?
Sure.
Pretty sad. But that's America for you, baby. 865 votes on the poll. I'll read it maybe like once an hour because there's no race here. I mean, Paris Hilton, she's off to the races again. Just can't stand that slut. 5670560. Let's get some heavy-duty call action here today. I'm sure a lot of our people have theories about how Anna Nicole's son died sitting in a chair in a hospital room.
I like that one we were talking about this morning.
What was that?
She shared some of her legal
and now George is saying that she drugged him up.
The theory.
She gave him something.
Or he took it, like right there off the nightstand.
Took some of Mom's drugs?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who hasn't done that?
Well, what do you mean who hasn't done that? Who hasn't taken some of Mom's drugs?
Yeah.
Now you're thinking about imaginary heroes again.
Okay.
Where everybody in a whole household, they spend about 80% of the day in the bathroom rifling through the medicine cabinet. Although you got to admit they had some pretty creative hiding places. Remember, it was in the roll-on deodorant thing, and she pulled off the bottom of the thing.
That's great.
The bottom of the
cube,
and there was a little bag of goodies in there. WQAM, hello. By the way, who was it that you were telling me about this morning? What's her name?
Allison had another conversation.
Heck of a job, Allison.
This morning. Well,
WQAM, hello.
Started.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I think you're right about them guys in the morning. I'd rather hear Susan Gray talk about her red.
Oh, boy, Susan Gray. There we go with that again. Okay, like I said, I was going to take a lot of calls today, but if it's going to be the same 6 or 7 jackasses, I just don't have time to waste with that,
No,
it's just not in my plans for the future. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Have you seen the gambling channel, how everybody's crying about oil being down about $15 from its all-time high?
Yeah, what a shame. And, of course, what a surprise, too, that, as we get closer to the election, all of a sudden, gas prices are going to be so much lower and it's going to be so good for the Republicans. Isn't that it's just a coincidence, I'm sure?
They're saying a bunch of hedge funds have gone under because they were long the market of oil.
Well, screw them.
Yep. Well, that's about it, Neil. And everybody go out there and vote for Jim Davis, please. Okay. We need a Democrat.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
No, certainly, but we could use a governor, though. Jesus Christ, or whatever his name is. Isn't that who's running for the Republicans, Jesus Christ?
Yes, he is.
Jesus Christ. Because absolutely, Jesus is on their side. They know that. God's on their side, Jesus. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, here's the deal with Anna Nicole and her son. The baby, the reason they're not letting you know who it was is because it's from an incestuous relationship between the son and Anna. And he took prescription medication and OD'd. That's the deal.
There you go. Who the hell needs Sherlock Holmes in Columbo when we got that guy? Wow. What the hell was that? I think when it comes to drugs, I think there was the expert right there.
I think he got into her drugs.
Man. Most of the audience would love to have the supply that these callers have. Woo. Believe you me.
I would.
Just a little taste. WQAM, hello. QAM.
And put the lotion on it.
WQAM, hello.
Yes, good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to touch on the death issue in the hospital. According to the report from the nurses station, he was estrangulando el pollo por allá.
Great. At least that was cute.
That won't kill you, though.
No.
It'll kill the chicken.
Strangle too hard.
Yeah.
No payoff of jackpot dispute. We thought today was going to be D-Day for that, but I guess it looks like tomorrow. A casino player will learn tomorrow if his swipe and win at the Seminole Hard Rock is confirmed as a swipe and lose, or if they cough up some money. Freddie Howard had high... This is from the Herald, by the way. It's a major story. Freddie Howard had high hopes that his Tuesday meeting with officials of the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino would result in a big jackpot. It didn't. Instead, CEO Jim Allen told Howard and his attorney that the casino had hired an independent outside agency to examine Howard's claim that he won nearly $260,000 in a swipe-and-win progressive jackpot computer system August 29th. They were kind enough to offer me nothing, Howard said after the 40-minute meeting with Allen. We cannot pay jackpots unless we have proper verification, said Allen, who admitted casino employees did not follow standard procedure to verify via the computer system that Howard won a prize. When you win, you win, and when you lose, Allen said in an afternoon press conference. If the independent computer analysis decides that he did indeed win, Allen said he would sign the check for $259,945.75. The analysis is expected to be completed tomorrow, and that's when Howard will learn whether he's a winner or a loser. Neither side disputes the following series of events that took place. Do we have to go through that whole routine again? Well, no, I think we should.
Okay.
After swiping his Players Club card in the Swipe and Win kiosk, Howard saw words on the screen indicating he was a winner. He approached casino employees who congratulated him, had him sign promotional forms, and photographed him holding a giant cardboard check with the amount of $259, whatever it was. But 15 hours later, casino officials told Howard it was all a mistake. There was a computer glitch. At dispute is what really was displayed on the computer screen after Howard swiped his card in the kiosk. Howard said he and casino staff saw these words: "Congratulations, you just won Progressive Winner." But casino officials say there was an all-important digit at the end of the message that everyone missed. "Congratulations, you just won Progressive Winner, $0. Well, what does that mean? That gave Howard and his attorney a copy of what they said was flashed on the screen. They gave him a copy. Howard's attorney, Keith Herbert, scoffed at the idea the screen flashed a 0 at the end of the message. A big "Oh!" "What machine congratulates you for being a loser?" Herbert asked. "For winning nothing." Allen had no explanation why the Swipe and Win kiosk would display a winning message with a 0, according to spokesman Gary Bittner. And no one offered an explanation of where casino employees got the $259,975.75 figure. The top prize given on the Swipe and Win kiosk was for that amount. The Seminole Tribal Gaming Commission has hired Gaming Laboratories, internationally respected firm that specializes in examining computer systems associated with gaming to examine the computer system. Allen could also not explain why casino employees didn't follow standard procedure in verifying a win, as they've done numerous times since the casino opened in 2004. Verification includes checking the log of the promotional computer's progressive system and then getting approval from top casino executives. The casino employees became caught up in the excitement of the event, Allen explained. Howard said Allen made no promises other than vague suggestions that if he came back to gamble, they'd make him feel right at home. Well, what does that mean? I was quite angry and disappointed, Howard said of his meeting with Allen. Herbert said that if his client is not told he's not getting any money, that he may resort to his original idea. Pick at the casino with a copy of the large check for $259 grand plus that he was given with a word scrawled, "Give me a real check." "You can't sue the Seminoles for getting your hopes up, bringing them down," said Tampa attorney Jack Gordon, who has sued the Seminoles numerous times throughout the years. And, of course, like we said, the courts, well, whatever. Well, if he sued them several times, how do you do that if the U.S. courts have no jurisdiction over it? Huh?
I don't know, engine court?
You really are, make no mistake.
Engine killer.
No, you are. Anyway, I guess tomorrow will be D-Day. We'll find out whether they're going to cough up some cash for this guy or not. It certainly, from a public relations standpoint, would be a real good idea. At least give him a couple of dinners or, a couple of coupons for the Little Red Caboose or something like that.
Pack of smokes.
That would be good, without worms in them. 896 votes on the poll, not bad.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
Rock solid.
Any questions?
Welcome aboard the Fatwa Mountain. At all times, please keep your hands inside the car and your heads inside your parkas. Enjoy the ride.
Oops. 904 votes on the poll, and it's only 11:02. Man, what's not to like, right? Got that 1,000 licked. We'll have that by 11. I'd say, I don't know, by noon. A Princeton University computer science professor added new fuel yesterday to claims that electronic voting machines used across much of the country are vulnerable to hacking that could alter vote totals or disable machines, man. They're bad machines. And there's nothing worse than getting a bad machine. Take it from somebody who knows. Although yesterday I had a good machine, finally. In a paper posted on the university's website, Edward Felton and 2 graduate students described how they had tested a Diebold AccuVote TS machine they obtained, found ways to quickly upload malicious programs, and even developed a computer virus able to spread such programs between machines. The marketing director for the machine's maker, Diebold Inc.'s Diebold Election Systems of Allen, Texas, blasted the report, saying Felton ignored newer software and security measures that prevent such hacking. Are you cracking those knuckles again? My God. Not like pig's knuckles.
Well, they are.
I'm concerned by the fact that of all the things, pig's knuckles. I don't know about the pig's ears that I told you I saw they eat in Madrid.
Yeah, I don't know. Fried, I assume?
Yes.
I'll give it a shot.
Those Europeans, man, they're into that deep fried crap, like the French fries. Oh, and when you look in the oil that they're frying those French fries in and they refry them, like in Amsterdam and in France, they refry, and in Belgium, my God. I'm concerned by the fact that we weren't contacted to educate these people on where our current technology stands, Mark Radke said of Diebold. Radke also questioned why Felton hadn't submitted his paper for peer review, as is commonly done before publishing scientific research. Felton said he and his colleagues felt it necessary to publish the paper as quickly as possible because of the possible implications for the November midterm elections. About 80% of American voters are expected to use some form of electronic voting in the upcoming election, in which the makeup of the U.S. House will be decided, as well as 33 Senate seats and 36 governorships, including governor in Florida. The AccuVote TS is commonly used across the country, along with the newer model, the AccuVote TSX. While Felton wasn't able to test the new machine, he said he thought much of what he found would still apply. The machine Felton tested obtained in May from an undisclosed source was the same type used across Maryland in its primary election Tuesday, according to Russ Goldstein, a deputy administrator with the state's Board of Elections. Goldstein said he couldn't comment on the report until he read it, but he did say that's a different Goldstein. Diebold and other machine manufacturers, including California-based Sequoia Voting Systems, Inc. and Nebraska-based Election Systems and Software, Inc. have been the subject of laws in claiming the machines are vulnerable to hacking and breakdowns that can assign votes to the wrong candidate. As you can see, the right margin is chopped off again. I know. Why don't you use Firefox?
Whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Internet Explorer is evil. It's the Antichrist.
It's the devil.
Election officials in some states have also complained. Previous studies have claimed hacking vulnerabilities with the machines, but Felton claims that this study is the first time an independent research group has obtained an actual machine and tested it extensively. Felton and graduate students Ariel Feldman and Alex Halderman found that malicious programs could be placed on the Diebold by accessing the memory card slot and power button, both behind a locked door on the side of the machine mon. One member of the group was able to pick the lock in 10 seconds, and software can be installed in less than a minute. The researchers say they designed software capable of modifying all records, audit logs, and counters kept by the voting machine, ensuring that a careful forensic examination would find nothing wrong. The programs were able to modify vote totals or cause machines to break down. Modify vote totals, something that could alter the course of an election if machines were located in crucial polling stations. It was also possible to design a computer virus to spread malicious programs to multiple machines by piggybacking on a new software download or an election information file being transferred from machine to machine, Felton said. I think there are many people out here who have the type of technical ability to carry out the sort of attacks we describe here, he said. Felton said hacking dangers could be mitigated with better software, more restrictions on access to machines and memory cards, and paper receipts verified by the voter. Paper receipts, God forbid. Let's burn them. Radke said Diebold's already implemented many of these things.
All of these
No,
things.
not all of these, just many of these things. And of course, he didn't say whether they were implemented in 2004 or in 2000, and God forbid, you know?
God forbid.
Because I'm sure the answer would have been no. Here's a fax from Tom who says, call it paranoid, but have you noticed that gas is dropping like a sack? What did I just tell you? What did I just tell you?
He must have heard you.
Oh, here's a good bumper sticker that Tom saw. It said, Jesus, save me from your followers. Amen.
We have that on our locker over here.
Yeah, Tom, it's just a coincidence that gas is dropping like a rock. That's just before the elections now. Oh, look at this. Mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce. Woo! This is Little Richard. And then it says, did you happen to watch Keith Olbermann last night as to Bush needing a celebrity to translate? No, I did not see that, but may have to go online and check that out.
That's cute. Which celebrity would you...
you won't watch him. You're just a hard ass.
Look,
I watch Keith Olbermann on MSNBC Countdown, 8 to 9 every night. It's a hoot, and he's also got some funny crap in there. And then, of course, his worst person in the world thing I love, which is usually Bill O'Reilly, but not always. So anyway, that nut job in Montreal?
Yeah.
Guess what his favorite Internet game was?
The Sims. I don't know.
Columbine.
Huh.
Well, didn't you see the way he was dressed?
No, I didn't.
Oh. A man with a nice haircut, by the way. A man with a black trench coat whose shooting rampage in Montreal at a Montreal college killed one person and wounded 19 others before he was slain by police said on a blog in his name that he liked to play a role-playing Internet game about the Columbine shootings. The gunman who opened fire at Dawson College yesterday was Kimveer Gill, 25, of Laval, near Montreal. 6 victims remain in critical condition and two in extremely critical condition. The official said police have searched Gill's home. In postings on a website called VampireFreaks.com, blogs in Gill's name show more than 50 photos depicting the young man in various poses, holding a rifle and donning a long black trench coat and combat boots. Remember the trench coat mafia?
Right.
All that crap?
Yes.
One photo, see, crazy people is bad enough, but crazy people with guns, not a good idea. One photo has a tombstone with his name printed on it. Below it the phrase, lived fast, died young, left a mangled corpse. The last of 6 journal entries yesterday was posted at 10:41 a.m., about 2 hours before he was shot to death at Dawson. He said on the site that he was drinking whiskey in the morning and described his mood the night before as crazy and postal. Oh, see, the people that work in the post office, they get very upset about that.
Yeah, too bad.
Going postal. Are you picking on the postal people now?
Why not?
Good. He said on the site that, I wonder whatever happened to Ted Grossman.
Who?
Postman. No, Ted Grossman wasn't the postman. His brother was. I can't keep them straight, and neither could they. He said on the site that he'd like to play Super Columbine Massacre, an Internet-based computer game that simulates the April 20th, 1999 shootings at the Colorado High School by 2 of its students that left 13 people dead. His name is Trench. You will come to know him as the Angel of Death, he wrote on his VampireFreaks.com profile. He is not a people person. He wrote that he hates jocks, preppies, country music, and hip-hop. Well, I don't know. I think I could...
really?
I don't hate all jocks, not if they look good. Although I don't sit around sniffing them like Clarence does. Work sucks, school sucks, life sucks. What else can I say? Life is a video game. You've got to die sometime, he said. Well, below a picture of Gil aiming the barrel of a gun at the camera, the inscription, I think I have an obsession with guns. And then it said after that, yeah. I don't know how else you would pronounce it. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Anger and hatred simmers within me, said another caption below a picture of him grimacing. He wrote that he was 6'1", born in Montreal, is of Indian heritage. He said his weakness is laziness and that he feared nothing. Responding to the question, how do you want to die, he replied like Romeo and Juliet, or in A Hail of Gunfire. Romeo and Juliet by, now who did that song? Just like Romeo and Juliet. Who did that? By the way, the Marquise, that last night, I can't stop humming that. And I'm not that big on instrumentals usually. There's some of them pretty good.
They're good.
But that was a great one. Last Doy and Last Night by the Marquise. And if you're not an old fart like me or a chicken neck, because he's caught in a time warp. Is that Romeo and Juliet?
That's a version of it.
No, come on. That's not Romeo and Juliet. Oh, that's it. There it is there. Well, what the hell was that other piece of crap? So who does this?
Reflections.
Oh, yeah. That's bad. Now, I'm definitely losing my mind now. I should know that. Gil wore a black trench coat during the shooting, opened fire in the cafeteria just as the Columbine students did in '99. He also maintained an online blog similar to Klebold and Harris, devoted to gothic culture, heavy metal such as Marilyn Manson. See, there's that Marilyn Manson again. It must be his fault, right?
Absolutely, everything is.
Gotta be. Never trust a guy named Marilyn. Or Allison. Or Annabelle. 12 minutes past 11. Annabelle. Now, what is his real name or what? I shouldn't make you say it, because then you get Dave Van Boring all pissed off again. And you never know. They might want to bring you back.
No, I don't think so.
Why not? Probably because you're on their show and they're pissed off about the fact that I talk about how Van Boring Dave is.
That has nothing to do with them, but yeah.
Well, what is it? What do you mean by that?
It has to do with me. I have new responsibilities.
What are those?
The QAM website.
Oh, that thing. Jeez. I wouldn't say that out loud again.
Hey, it's great.
Is it? Well, it's certainly got to be better than it was before. Now, are we going to get a cross-dress on that thing ever again or not?
I'm hoping.
We don't have any naked pictures on our website
I'm really
anymore.
trying.
You know, that to me, that business sums up our relationship with this radio station better than anything else at all.
Well, I think it's going to go back to normal.
The fact that they wouldn't cross-promote our website on the QAM website because of the fact that we had, like, naked pictures on there back when we had the beaded curtain before we had to stop that because we did not want to go to jail. Isn't that incredible?
No.
Wouldn't cross-promote our website. This is the kind of promotion. It's not bad enough they don't promote outside, but even on their website, even a little internal incestuous promotion there, can't do that. And by the way, what's her name there that you're telling me is the new PD assistant or whatever she is?
Allison.
Heck of a job, Allison. Get with it.
She just got the memo yesterday.
Well, you know something?
Get with what? I don't even know what you expect. She fired off the appropriate email to George, and he's firing off the appropriate call to Southern Bell Corso, who manages the account.
George Corso?
Who manages the account
George
with Southern
Corso
Bell.
is involved in this?
He has to be.
Okay, I'm not taking any more calls.
All right.
11:13 at 560 WQM. Let me tell you about it. Let's see, March 21st, 1906. Not 2006, 1906. You know, seriously.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was. That was my first week on the air, 1906. It was just after the turn of the century. Wouldn't it be something to be around for the turn of all these different centuries? Remember that Y2K crap?
Oh
boy.
God, that was fun.
All the power's going to go out and the water's going to stop flowing and people are going to not be able to take no showers no more, those of us who do. Oh, that was bad. Let me tell you about a great place to take your feet, Brandy Shoes in Pompano Beach, where they carry all the top names in the shoe business. They give you unbeatable prices and friendly personal service to make damn sure you get a perfect fit every time. I'll guarantee you Brian Schmutz loves them. Brandy's has got like Florsheim, Echo, Mephisto, Rockport, Hush Puppies, New Balance, tons of other name brand shoes in all sizes for men and women, and they even carry wide widths and hard-to-find sizes, too. Brandy's, in fact, is the largest independent shoe retailer in all of South Florida, and if you've never been into the store, shame on you. Because when you go in there for the first time and you see the value and selection you get and the great personal service as well, believe you me, you'll never want to shop for shoes anyplace else. Go see our good buddy Arnie. He'll make sure you get the right fitting shoes at the right price every single time. You'll find Brandy's at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach between Atlantic and Copans on the east side. Cannot miss it. Open every Monday through Saturday till 9 and every Sunday till 5. And this week, it's a store-wide sales event this week at Brandy's. Like always, they save you extra money every week. This week, take 20% off the first pair, 25% off the second pair, and 30%...
About 30%! Hey, man.
Off the third pair, including sale items, too. So save a ton of cash by getting your ass into Brandy's this week, or do your shoe shopping right online on their website, brandysshoes.com.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Picking up where Brigitte Nielsen and Flava Flav left off. It's VH1's newest reality show, Stranger Love, with George W. Bush and John Kerry.
Hey, John. You look very handsome tonight.
Why, thank you, George. And you look absolutely winsome.
Well, you win some and you lose some.
I love a man with a sense of humor. What do you say we dim the lights and play a little Abu Ghraib?
I'll get the leash.
It's all on the next episode of VH1's Stranger Love.
I think he really meant Abu Ghraib, but who knows when you're dealing with them. 11:19 at 560 WQM, Mad Dog at 2, the Mad Dog with a humper between 4 and 5 in that power hour. Go take a shower. And then we got Hank Solo, 2 hours tonight for the humper. You think you can handle it? 5 to 7. And then we got that hurricane crap, because there's no ball game tonight. We'd rather have a ball game any day. Now, let's see. Do we know what the attendance was last night or not? Did we look?
No, we did not.
Well, let's look. I'm going to look right now. I mean, not that it makes a big deal.
It did look like there were a little bit more people there. I will say that.
Now, what were they giving away? Like $100 to everybody who showed up? Let's see. Sports. I'm on the Herald websites, and this one should go a little faster than the Sun Sentinel on Explorer. Sun Sentinel hates Explorer, and vice versa. And now it hates the Herald, too, because it won't come up on the sports page. Well, what is this all of a sudden, huh? Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Between the Herald and the Sun Sentinel, you can't complain about the quality of your websites because you don't have any. The quality sucks. I'll guarantee the QM website, now that Josh is on it, is just clean and pristine.
It's on fire. It's fantastic. And there will be a new site very soon.
Oh, how come I can't get that? All right, let me try the Sun Sentinel. I know this isn't going to work. Jesus, God, do I have to switch over to Firefox for everything?
Yes.
No, I don't. I don't want Firefox. I want my Alexa, man. If I didn't have my Alexa, I wouldn't waste my time sending Josh all those 85 stories every day, which means he'll probably find a way to interfere with my Explorer. Let's see. Marlin's Magic Carpet Ride starts its descent. Now, that's a pretty sour headline, isn't it?
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah, well, who the hell wrote that in the Sun Sentinel? Marlin's Magic Carpet Ride starts its descent. So they lost 2 out of 3 of the first-place Mets, who are a hell of a team and about 80 games ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, they're only like the best team in baseball.
Yeah, right. What the hell do you want? Start a slide. Typical South Florida negativity, man. Even I've been not jumping on the bandwagon, but trying to whip it up a little bit and embarrass people into maybe going to a game or two. I guarantee if I was there, I'd be going to a game or two. Not. But nevertheless, what have I got to do with it? Don't blame me for it. Okay, let me see if I can get... I went over to Firefox. You think that'll help?
Can't hurt.
Well, at least it's a little more Sun Sentinel friendly, or the other way around. Let's see. Sports Florida Marlins. There it is. Magic Carpet Ride starts at descent. Now let's see if I can open up that story. The Sun Sentinel website is just evil. It won't open up the story. It won't open up. I'm better off just to go to the Major League Baseball thing and I'll get the attendance right away, right? No, instead of the local papers, I'm telling you, man, the Sun Sentinel sucks. It's a piece of garbage. It's crap. I have no problem with any other website. You know how many websites I go through every day to put all those 80 million stories on there and gather all this great grade Z material for this show? A zillion, whatever that is. What's the use? I'm not even going to look for it. Probably just as well, because then I would go on about, well, there were really only about 8,000 people there, 3,000 were Met fans, and the other people were like vendors and hot dog sellers and whatever. You know, we know the deal. It's not going to change. And now, and of course, I think San Diego won last night. I think they had like a 10-0 or something.
Yeah. So
they crushed whoever the hell they played. Who did they play, by the way? Giants?
I don't know.
Oh. But anyway, San Diego won, so that means the Marlins are now, 3 games out of the wild card, and there's only like 16 games to go, I believe?
Yeah, it's not looking good, but we're not out of it.
Yeah, but that headline I thought was, how the hell do they know? Maybe they're going to win the next 10 in a row. They don't know. Negative. They play at Atlanta this weekend, the next series, and they own the Braves, basically, right, for years now. They wipe the floor with them. They mop up with the Braves, don't they?
No, I don't know where he came up with that, but let's hope.
No, that they did for a long time. Get out of here.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
Braves,
1 or 2 seasons,
Marlins?
man. They had, maybe it was last year. They had a spectacular record against the Braves.
Yeah, maybe 1 year, but I'm telling you, maybe the Phillies you're thinking about.
I'm thinking about the Braves, not the Phillies. The Braves, they owned them, baby. They had them on their limp wrist. You don't know what you're talking about. And you worked with a team when this was going on. Just because you're sitting up there getting stoned and drunk in the press box with those guys and eating pizza that our people are bringing by. Whatever happened to what's his name? Troy.
He's a good dude, man. He
is a good dude. He eats too much baba ganoush, and Troy Stratford just about put him out of business. But nevertheless, How's Troy Stratford doing, by the way? We see him around. I don't see him on the schedule anymore for On the Air. He said he was going to pursue his on-air. Is he gone? Is this another one of these? Huh?
He's gone.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't he tell me that? He said he wasn't going to be in sales anymore, but he was going to pursue his on-air thing. And I thought that meant he was going to be back to like doing some weekends for us on the air and stuff like that.
That's what I thought that meant.
Doing some work for your Clarence.
I guess that meant somewhere else.
Oh no, he's a good guy, Troy. I mean, he wasn't worth a crap in sales, but he was a good guy, right?
Yeah,
he was an old smoothie.
Sure.
If you're real nice to him, he lets you rub his bald spot, which is his whole head.
Did it all the time.
Screw Ann did it. She rubbed it. While Republican Senator Conrad Burns flew first class, his wife was stuck in coach. A salivating Democratic informant told Roll Call. Oh, look at that. And she's a cow, too. Boy, I sure hope it wasn't one of those where they have like 3 and 3, you know?
3 and
That's
3
usually
what?
what they have in coach. 3 seats across.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been stuck in the middle.
Oh, my God.
You.
Stuck in the middle with you. Now, who the hell did that? Stuck in the
Steelers
middle
wheel.
with you. Who? Steelers wheel. That's right. I just said that. I was thinking it. The reflections in Just Like Romeo. You know, that's not good.
No,
Rick Shaw is pretty PO'd with me right now. He's probably not too happy. Sorry, Ricky. Little tip of the cap to Rick Shaw. The informant sent the information with an accompanying nasty editorial note that said, "Guess women really are second class to him." Roll calls heard on the Hill reports. Last October, 2 Northwest Airlines flight attendants accused Burns of sexism after he told one of the women she could stay at home and be a mother if she lost her job to outsourcing. Roll Call reports that Burns denied sexism in both cases and suggests that the senator wasn't playing the big man card, taking the first-class seat, while making his little woman ride in the stuffy coach seat. Little woman, my ass. She's bigger than Elsie the Borden cow. The article says that for one, she had the roomiest coach seat available, the exit row. Burns spokesman James Pendleton swears the senator chivalrously offered to take that seat and give Phyllis the only first-class seat they could get, but she wouldn't hear such nonsense. She declined. She felt there was more room for him to work with his laptop, etc., in first class. On Monday, both he and Mrs. Burns had purchased coach tickets, and at the time they upgraded, but there wasn't room for both of them to go first class. So he put the cow in the back and he went in the front because he's a big shot. I mean, he's a senator, you know, right?
Right.
Put the slut in the back. That's all. She's a cow. You know, he probably didn't want to be seen with her anyway. Who would blame him?
It's tough to hit on the stewardesses with your wife sitting right next to you.
Right. Steve faxes and says if the government wants to monitor the internets, why don't they catch these crazy bastards playing these online death games? If a guy shooting a gun isn't a terrorist, then who is, says Steve. Well, I don't think the internet is what they need to worry about. Maybe it's the guns. Oh, we don't want to do that. No, don't say that. That's very bad. You can't say that in America. You commie pinko faggot you. Well, you got part of that right. I mean, what is that? With the obsession with guns. And, of course, you'll notice that the benevolence of the human race, all throughout history, what does man continue working feverishly to invent bigger and better and more effective weapons to kill each other with?
That's right. That's right.
All through history. In fact, you go to all these historical museums and you see all the hatchets and the old blunderbuss and all every generation had a new bunch of weapons, you know, just like our new generation of nuclear weapons now. Which I think we ought to drop one on Nancy Grace, don't you?
Absolutely.
I'll get to that story eventually.
Boy.
That bitch. I always thought she was killing me, but evidently worse than me.
The biggest names of best talent.
You're killing us,
This is
Nancy.
Neil Rogers.
Quit doing it.
Sports Radio
Friend.
560 QAM.
First talk radio I ever heard in my life was on WIOD.
Hey guys, is your life falling apart because you have a limp noodle? Do the girls laugh at you? And sports fans, do the boys laugh at you too? Well, your friendly, giant pharmaceutical corporations who care deeply for your good health through extortion have good news. Sexual enhancement drugs are now available over the counter. Our biggest customers at the FCC now prohibit us from saying exactly what they are, so let's just say it helps your love flow with better blood flow. But we can no longer describe how. You must call us first for us to explain. What we can tell you is that we have warehouses full of this stuff, and it's cheaper to make than anything important. You know, like cancer, AIDS. Who cares about that? Look, we have tons of this crap. Why, this one little bottle costs pennies to make, and we charge you $10 a pill. We all gotta go sometime, pal. Might as well get some boing boing. Use as directed.
Oh, speaking of going sometime.
The two men survey their target. A voice says the vehicles
Here's a new
are
Al-Qaeda
American.
tape.
There is an edit in the tape. Now the suicide bomber is driving on the road, his white car clearly visible. The video is shot from a distance while the bomber talks to the cameraman on a walkie-talkie.
شفت الامريكان امامك كانوا واضحين شفتهم؟
Yeah, those Americans in front of him, and he's going to blow himself up right on tape. This is going to get a lot of views, don't you think?
محمد ترى وراك مسلمون يعني وراك مسلمين لو تزيد السرعة شوي هم قدامك الآن توكل على الله يا أبو محمد تذكر الجنة
You can hear the cameraman's heavy breathing. Waiting for the explosion.
Uh-oh. And there it is, man, big ball of fire.
The U.S. military says it has no record of such an attack.
Well, they just probably made it up. Anyway, here's a letter to Comedy Central from a website called DearComedyCentral.infogamy.com. You know, I was just thinking, though, before I get into this, because I'm looking at these suicide bomber guys, and you know one thing they have in common?
What, their religious
they have different kind of headgear and different gowns that they wear and different schmatas, but they all have a beard.
Right.
So I'm thinking that if you see a guy with a beard, it probably can't be a bad idea. They did it to Abe Lincoln.
Right.
Didn't they shoot him?
They did.
Beard. Look at this. Here's this Al-Qaeda guy they got on CNN right now. Doesn't have a big beard, but he's got like a little schmutz there. In fact, see in the second picture, got a beard it was growing, and the beard too.
Looks like we're in trouble, Josh.
Growing longer every day. Well, you guys are sporting beards now?
Right now I'm in a little trouble here.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm feeling lazy.
Pretty much all the guidance in the building here.
Well, wouldn't be a bad idea. When in doubt, clean that place out. Anyway, here's just a thought. You know, if you see somebody with a long black beard.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it could be like some of them Orthodox, some of them Farbisten, you know. Well, in that case, I'm sorry. Dear Comedy Central executives, the Free Stewart and Colbert movement is this group, whatever that is. Do you know there was such a movement?
No.
There's a bowel movement. The time is coming, it says, actually the long time since came, but a lot of folks in the entertainment industry just aren't aware of it yet. Anyways, here we are, inviting you to let Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert to be amongst the first to bring television well and fully into the new millennium. This $1.99 stuff on iTunes has got to stop. Put both shows on the Internet every day for free, it said, and it's got for free in big black letters. Black. No, we're serious, it says. Stop laughing. The Internet wants to watch. Actually, the Internet is already watching. As you probably already noticed, the funnier bits of The Daily Show and the Colbert Report rapidly make it to YouTube or Google Video, where they get hundreds of thousands of hits.
Yes.
We're watching you, and we think you're funny. Also, we've checked your credit record, hacked into your bank accounts, emailed in your children's school grades, so listen up. It might be worth explaining who we are. We're computer geeks. Or like that idiot in Montreal. No, not the losers who fix your PC at Best Buy. It says we're the pimply-faced dudes in the basement of the computer center that spend our evenings in college playing NetHack.
Never heard of it.
NetHack.
NetHack.
What a jerk. NetHack. Well, that's what it looks like, okay? Whoever saw NetHack in print before, okay?
Me.
I caught it pretty quick. NetHack, to bed we go. NetHack, learning Lisp and C++, and reading game theory books. Some of us have been around forever, and some of us are new, but we're out there and we want to be customers. NetHack, NetHack. That'd be a good name, wouldn't it? Now the news with NetHack, NetHack. We write the software that shares the illicit music and video around the globe. We write the web servers that keep the Internet trucking. We hack the Linux kernel. We code. We write. We watch. We're the Uber geeks. And we think your shows are funny. Oh, Robert Grieper must be part of this group.
Are you kidding?
Uber
Sports geek.
Now we know what you're thinking. These guys are making bank. Why can't they watch us on cable like the rest of the unwashed? Of course, a lot of us do have digital cable with 42-inch high-def LCDs and TiVo boxes running hacked versions of the Linux kernel, but there are a bunch of us who don't have anything but a Netflix subscription and a queue packed full of kung fu flicks and the occasional Matthew Broderick film, for old time's sake, you know. Sounds to me like a thing, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a great movie. You don't have to be gay to like that.
A bunch, and the occasional Matthew Broderick film. What was the one he made with Marlon Brando?
The Freshman?
That's it. That was really pretty bad. The only reason anybody of us watched it is because Marlon Brando was doing the Don Corleone voice again. It was pretty funny.
It was all right.
The rest of the movie sucked. And what was that big lizard they kept schlepping around?
It was food. It was dinner.
It's not because we don't want high-def movies with surround sound that will make your ears bleed and send your beta waves frolicking through, actually. NetHack. We don't want to. Well, you know, you try reading some of this crap on the air once, mister.
I have. That's why I don't.
It just looks funny in print.
It does.
It's strange. It looks like NetHack. Schmuck. NetHack.
Meshach.
Oops. We don't want it. It says we could all afford it. We have good jobs. We probably make more than you guys do, but we don't subscribe to cable or satellite. We don't want to because we're angry. Angry and bored. Angry, bored, and ruthlessly efficient. Angry, bored, ruthlessly efficient, and with a fanatical devotion to the Internet. Oh, boy. And it goes on about Rutger Hauer this, and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bam. And if only the violence were so believably real that Hillary Clinton and Tipper Gore would found a commission to investigate it. It goes on and on about the Internet. It says, we think that Jon Stewart is really funny, and that Colbert guy isn't bad either, and we think they might actually fit in a big way here. And it goes on to offer, we'll watch your show every day if you put it online at a reasonable price as an MPEG video that we can save and watch later in case we're on vacation. Not some Microsoft or Apple proprietary crap. If you do that, we're just going to have to hack it up and turn it into MPEG anyways, which means we'll have to distribute it on our own site without the commercials. And it goes on and on. Wow.
Sounds like it.
Says, we know that you're part of the huge Viacom empire, blah, blah, whatever. We're willing to pay something, but something reasonable, like $2 or $3 a month for all the episodes. Surely that's more than you're getting from the cable companies. I mean, if you get 300 channels from the cable, and it goes on. 23 cents per subscriber from cable. It says, anyhow, think about it. We'll be here hanging out wishing you were here. Computer geeks.
Wow.
Uber geeks. Netfackers. knee slappers and knee thackers.
How can I get one of those big screens?
Pile of crap. You know, this been like anybody with a brain can't watch that stuff on the
Cube.
Huh?
First of all, it's not on Premier Channel, so just basic cable, and you got it.
Right. You don't have to pay any extra to watch it if you got basic cable. And if you don't have basic cable, have a good time in your log cabin.
Right.
And of course, if you're hanging out in a log cabin, you probably have a beard.
The biggest names of best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Let's abuse some more prisoners, make them scream nice and loud. Get me some wires and a battery pack. I don't care if they ain't from Iraq. Should be used to the torture, 'cause we're just playing their game. In the past, it had to be worse with Saddam Hussein.
They thought he was just a legend. A giant with incredible strength and power, with colossal arms, monstrous legs, and an enormous ego. He's not just a legend, but he is a giant. A San Francisco giant. Coming soon from Balco Films. King Bonds.
Oh no! He's destroying the Sports Illustrated building! Oh my God! He's eating the reporters! No!
See Barry Bonds in the role he was born or chemically created to play. Me not know me take roids. It all meaning is false. Coming soon, maybe, to a ballpark near you. King Bonds.
No!
Reagan.
1,012 votes already, and, big deal, I know. It's not even worth talking about anymore, is it?
What?
It's so automatic.
Yes.
By the way, you'll be pleased to know I reached over about 5 minutes ago. And shut off the monitor for that phone thing.
Oh, very good.
Reached over and shut it off. Well, I think we took more than our quota today. We took quite a few there in the beginning.
Yes, we did.
And most of them said stuff like that. 2 weeks after, you know what? You're right though. I just don't care. I'm gonna do my show. I'm gonna do it the way I want to. All these people who think that they're experts, who know something, they know nothing about radio, nothing about talk radio, nothing about this show, nothing except a bunch of ball games and guys taking showers together and dropping the soap. That's all they know.
You'll add 10 years to your life.
That's right. I just don't care. I'm gonna do what I believe, and that's it. All these experts. Well, maybe if you screen the call, This guy, man, I don't know what you become so enchanted so easily, and then down the road, man, every single time you always say, oh, gee, you were right.
I don't know what you're talking about. What nice things did I say about Greg? What did I say about Greg?
Regime.
I was
you were just telling us
Greg?
yesterday about what a tremendous improvement they are.
Yeah.
Man, you're dreaming.
All right.
Maybe the that sales guy this morning sounded like kind of human. Like, what was his name? Daniel?
Daniel from Dallas.
Daniel.
He looked a little bit
John
like
did a song about him, which I think that means
gay,
something like that.
If Gary Bruce had a younger brother, it would have looked like him.
Oh God, that's not. Don't get him started on the wrong foot comparing him to Gary Bruce.
I'm just trying to describe.
Oh, Al Qaeda next door, and they got a picture of a guy with a schmata on his head and a beard.
A guy.
See that?
Look, they all have
beards.
beards.
A guy with a beard. Terrorist. Theodore Bickel. Terrorist. Think of somebody else with a beard. Somebody famous.
Oh, Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. You don't have a beard.
I don't know.
Get out of here.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus? Hey, all you kids out there, when your parents take you to the mall, you see Santa's got a beard, yank on it first to make sure if it isn't real. If it's real, shoot him. Right?
Right. Castro.
Kill him. Because he must be a terrorist. God only knows what he's going to put in your sack. In fact, he'll probably squeeze your sack. That's Santa. Pervert. 2 weeks after telling police that her son had been snatched from his crib, Melinda Duckett. Oh, God. I wonder if she was kin to Kirby Puckett. Boy, can you believe that he's dead?
Who?
Think of all the people who are dead that you just can't believe it. You know, like I just got through seeing what's her name, Ann Richards on King a few weeks ago. You know, on King.
Who?
Larry, your buddy. She just on a few weeks ago. Ann Richards. She looked alive to me, and now she's dead. And just when you talk about those catacombs in Paris, and you see all those skulls and bones, that's where it's at, baby. You better enjoy your life now, because once it's over, that's it. Just like that raghead that was on there with the bombs in the car, the two of them that are going to do the suicide bombing. I hope Allah favors me. Allah my ass, okay? You're dead. Idiots. But then again, you see, I think they've got a legitimate excuse. Because, boy, you talk about effective brainwashing. Even the Catholic Church does it a different way. They basically make you an offer that you can't refuse. And they brainwash you and teach you to hate everybody else. And then that's the way they work. But these people, from the time they're old enough to, like, sit on the floor and start davening, and they're rocking back and forth with the books and the Koran, and, those Goyim and those Jews, and, crazy. And so by the time they get old enough to be really dangerous, you know what they become?
What, dangerous?
Dangerous. 2 weeks after telling police that her son had been snatched from his crib, Melinda Duckett found herself reeling in an interview with TV's famously prosecutorial Nancy Grace. She doesn't have a beard, but you know what? I'd like to shoot her ass. And believe me, talk about a big target. Before it was over, Grace was pounding her desk and loudly demanding to know, where were you? Why aren't you telling us where you were that day? Friend. A day after the taping, Duckett, 21, shot herself to death, deepening the mystery of what happened to the boy. Police have refused to say whether she left a suicide note and said nothing they have found so far in their investigation of her death has shed any light on the whereabouts of her 2-year-old son, Trenton. Maybe he ran away because they named him Trenton. Maybe he's in Jersey. This is in Leesburg, Florida, by the way. How come all the crap is in Florida, most of it? You ever notice that?
I have noticed that. I don't think it's
story we had about the guy that jumped off the bridge with his daughter.
Where the hell's Leesburg?
You ought to know where Leesburg is. It's over there on the West Coast, baby. Leesburg.
Never heard of it.
Get out of here. Look it up. Google it. Leesburg with 2 E's. Leesburg. You're full of it. I don't think you ever lived in Brandon. I think you're full of crap.
I just made it up.
The only thing Brandon's got is a bunch of fast food joints.
And a mall.
They do have a mall?
You're kidding, right? It's like the 3rd biggest mall in the world.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, it's all that's in town.
You never heard of Leesburg, and you're giving me crap because I never went to the Brandon Mall? What the hell would I go to Brandon for?
Nobody's heard of Leesburg.
It was Barstow, wasn't it, where they had the first make-believe arena?
Yes.
With the plastic arena that the Lightning... I went to a couple of games there. The Leafs just pounded Lightning back then. Lightning were really bad. I went to a couple of games there, actually. And Joe Bell says, are you a hockey fan? No, I'm just making it up. Police have refused to say whether she left a suicide note. This is Melinda Duckett, and said nothing they have found. I just read that. Investigators have stopped short of calling her a suspect, but have focused increasing attention on her movements just before the boy vanished, and the note's computer, camera, and other items seized it from her house. Duckett's family members disputed any suggestions that she hurt her son. They said the strain of her son's disappearance pushed her to the brink, and the media sent her over the edge. Nancy Grace, put that bitch on trial. Why were you pounding on that desk, you bitch, you cow?
That's
you
what
slut.
She does, yeah.
God, she is, oh my God. Just that whole phony act of hers, man, that whole drawl she puts on.
I just can't stand that slut.
Amen. And you were supposed to put her on the pole today and you didn't do it.
Yeah, Josh. Why didn't you do that?
No, not Josh, you. I remember before Josh ever even dragged his ass in there.
Well, I
thought
about doing it.
Please, pretty please, you wouldn't do it because you're a heartless bastard.
That's because I love her.
Nancy Grace and the others, they just bashed her to the end, Duckett's grandfather, Bill Eubanks, said too. Then what if he's kin to Bob Eubanks, the one with the stiff neck? She wasn't, other than a priest, I never saw anybody wearing a collar like that Bob Eubanks on the Newlywed Game. Remember him?
Right.
God, I hated it. I can't stand him.
Because of his big melon head.
No, it had nothing to do with that. I just didn't like the way he always looked like his neck was in, what do they call this, like a neck brace?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
She wasn't anyone ever would have thought to do something like this. She and that baby just loved each other, couldn't get away from each other. She wouldn't hurt a bug. Janine Ayamuno, a spokeswoman for Grace, said in an email that Duckett's death was an extremely sad development, but the program would continue covering the case. No Rachmanis, baby. No regrets. We feel a responsibility to bring attention to this case in hopes of finding Trenton Duckett, who remains missing, Ayamuno said. A relentless bitch, that Nancy Grace. Let's hunt her ass down. Let's tie her up by her toenails.
All right.
Let's get the Shah of Iran. Let's bring him back to life and get the Savak to pull out her nails.
Ooh.
Polished or not. Yeah, let's polish your fingernails and then pull them all out with the thing.
Pliers.
With the pliers would be good, yeah.
Good friend.
It's them needle nose pliers. Duckett, in fact, she's got kind of a needle nose, doesn't she?
Yes, she did.
She's, just dripping and drawling and dripping. Sounds like some kind of a sexually transmitted disease. Duckett had told police that after she finished watching a movie August 27, she went to check on Trent in his bedroom, and all she found was an empty crib and a 10-inch cut in the window screen above it. Well, this sounds like John Bonet all over again. That's why Nancy Grace is all over this like Stink on Joe. At the time, she was living her son, wading through a messy divorce with a boy's father and trying to get her life back on track after getting laid off from her job with a lawn care company. The boy's disappearance in this town of 19,000. Did you Google Leesburg?
Huh?
About 45 miles northwest of Orlando.
Okay.
See, I had to tell you because he's too lazy to Google it. He's too busy working on the QM website. Stretched the 75-member police force to its limits. Flyer. See, if I would have lived in Brandon, I'd sure know where Leesburg is.
So where is it?
45 miles northwest of Orlando. Well, that's not far from Tampa St. Pete if it's 45 miles northwest.
It's right there, I imagine.
It's right there, man. It's right like probably between Tampa and Lakeland. Oh, Lakeland. You ever been there?
Can't say that I have. Probably, though.
You don't want to go there. Man, what a bunch of yeehaws, yahoos. Ooh, man. Unbelievable. In fact, they picked their nose so deep that if they had brains, they'd be able to feel them. Flyers were posted on gas station doors around town asking for information from anyone who might have seen the boy, a brown-haired youngster wearing denim shorts and a diaper. Trenton's father, 21-year-old Josh Duckett. Ever see Josh Duckett?
All the time, just this morning.
Only when Duff comes in. Was closely questioned after the boy disappeared. Newspapers reported that his wife had taken out a temporary restraining order against him, but Josh Duckett took a polygraph test, answered all police questions satisfactorily, Captain Ginny Paget said. On September 7th, Melinda Duckett gave a telephone interview to CNN Headline News' Grace, a former prosecutor known for her practically cross-examining her guests, for her militant, aggressive, obnoxious style. Duckett stumbled over such questions as whether she had taken a polygraph. She said she refused on the advice of her divorce lawyer, and where exactly she was shopping with the boy before his disappearance. Hours before the interview aired, Duckett shot herself Friday with a grandfather's gun at her grandparents' house and up the road from where she was living. Up the road a piece. Probably in Brandon at the mall. You heard that Brandon has that huge mall is what I heard.
By the way, Leesburg is past Tampa, in between like Tampa and Jacksonville.
It's 45 miles northwest of Orlando. So if you drew a line from Tampa up toward Jacksonville, which would have to be kind of a, it would be on that path. Yes, I didn't say it's like a Tampa suburb.
Well, you're telling me, you're from
Have
Brandon.
You ever heard of Two-Egg?
You should know Leesburg.
You ever hear of Two-Egg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two-Egg, there's like 6 people live there. It's a stoplight. There's not even a place. There's not even like a toilet there.
That's not the point. Don't tell me because I lived in Brandon I should know Leesburg.
Boy, you sure take. Why are you so easy? Why don't you just relax? Let George give you a little therapy session during the break. Just forget about it. Don't care. Do like us. Don't give a crap.
We'll smoke and talk.
That's right. Smoke a big fat one and just forget about it. Or even a slim one. Hours before the interview aired, Duckett shot herself with her grandfather's gun. Investigators are still trying to piece together a timeline of where she and Trenton were 24 hours before she reported him missing. On Tuesday, they released the make and model of her car, a 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and asked anyone who might have seen it during that period to call them. Also on Tuesday, a newspaper reported she bought a shotgun from a pawn shop 2 days before Trenton vanished. Paget said police couldn't confirm that. See, here we go again. People with guns. They usually use them. On Monday, agents used dogs and digging equipment to search an outlying area that somebody called about but found nothing. Investigators continued to field tips. We're following up, Paget said. Hopefully they'll bring in something to help us firm up the timeline. Sounds very mysterious to me. And by the way, speaking of mysterious things, I am not slow. Trust me when I tell you. I just mentioned that. Let me just tell you one thing. There are very few Julios in Toronto, okay?
All right.
Just remember I said that. I'm not going to give you like any. I'm just going to dangle it out to you, okay?
All right.
Dangle it in front of your finger. I wonder what's he talking about.
What's he talking about?
Someday maybe you'll find out. Maybe you won't.
All right. The biggest names
we'll see.
Best talent.
When the chickens come home to roost, baby.
Sports Radio
It'll be really,
560.
yeah.
This is Head of Homeland Security Tom Ridge, advising you to put duct tape on your radio when I raise the warning color to pink for the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
I'm dying over here.
We're back 10 years too late. Yeah, back when things were great. Clinton was president. OJ was innocent. But we could still see friends. And Beavis and Butthead barely had an internet. And there was no spam yet. Never heard about Bin Laden. Wall Street was always in the black. We still care about Madonna. And not about sneak attacks. And all that great music. Yeah, you could take your pick, like it was sent from God. No cell phones, no ringtones, no iPods, played Oasis or Hootie. That Brandy was a cutie. There was Alanis Morissette and Julia split from Lila. Then the Pumpkins were smashing. The Beatles tried to cash in, but nothing quite feels right since
she was good for talking. I wonder if she survived that. 1995.
12:03 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you, September 14, a day that'll live in infamy. I don't know why yet, but we'll find out. By the way, speaking of liars, remember I was supposed to get a new piece of copy for it. Didn't get it today. It was going to be Thursday. Maybe he didn't mean this Thursday. Maybe he went
That's right.
Sukkahs.
They didn't tell you which Thursday, did they?
He's just another BS artist, man. All the same. And you know what? I don't care.
Oh, good. I'm going to get that song.
I don't care. I've said that before, but finally this time you put me over the edge. You forced me over the edge, just like
Please,
that guy who jumped off the bridge with his little girl.
You're too
young
was that
to die. In Okaloosa?
I forget.
What a you know what?
He was a crackhead.
Swampy, rednecky place. That's Florida, you know. And there's a bunch of Julios that floated up from south and a bunch of Jews that came down from the north, and that's Florida, you know, and they came to South Florida. And then a bunch of Midwesterners on the West Coast who came there and wondered, what is this all about? And then everybody else is like a redneck, a Bible-thumping redneck, like your fat-ass governor, for example, with his fantastic family. Here's a fax from Ephraim in Baton Rouge. Haven't heard from Ephraim in a while. He says, good morning, sir. Thought about you as I was reading an article in the L.A. Times. It's a book review of the greatest story ever told, The Decline and Fall of Truth from 9/11 to Katrina by Frank Rich. We love Frank Rich. Read his articles all the time. Put them on our website from the New York Times, right?
Right.
Like him almost as much as Fat Rich. And it says, here's the blurb on the book. This is one of those occasions. Frank Rich is that man. In his new book, The Greatest Story Ever Sold, The Decline and Fall of Truth from 9/11 to Katrina, will be of particular value to those still struggling to bring this historical moment into focus. He also has a genuine relish for pop culture and has almost single-handedly made the word truthiness, first coined by Comedy Central's Stephen Colbert, an indispensable political term of art. As Rich defines it, truthiness describes a situation in which it doesn't matter whether something is true. What matters most is whether a story can be sold as true, preferably on television. On television, dummy.
Forced to represent a guy against his will.
That describes precisely the stories George W. Bush and his surrogates told the American people to induce them to support the war in Iraq. And Rich lays out these evasions, exaggeration, now where it lies in The Greatest Story Ever Sold. I'm going out and getting it today. I got these other 4 books. I'm halfway through one of them, but I'm going to go out and put it on my pile today. I'm going to start feeding my brain, you know what I mean? Then I might just read the whole book on the air. How do you like that? That'll teach him a thing or two.
Excellent.
Instead of that stupid hurricane programming we got at night, I'll come out again at night and read the book. Neil's book reviews. Some crap like that.
Take that, Oprah.
In fact, you know what they can do? I'll just leave the mic open here 24/7.
All right.
And every time I get all whipped up and pissed off about something, I'm like that. What do you say?
You could make a podcast.
Yeah, or just a potty mouth. I've shut the phone off for today. You know, they're in La La Land. They you know, it's always been this way from day one, and it's this way even worse with this crowd. Because if you thought that the other people weren't broadcasters, I don't know they were broad chasers. The other people, not broadcasters. These people, I don't know what they're chasing. I think these people are chasing their tail. They sure as hell did for about 8 months. Bada beep, bada boop, bada ba. Well, we sure can't do any worse than Mo did. Yeah, well, surprise. Oh, remember that? In the 2 to 4 hours, can't do worse than a 1. Guess what? Wrong again. So you're telling me that Troy is out, huh? Troy is out.
That's what Josh said.
Water Nazi is out.
Right.
A whole bunch of people out. Matty Bell is still there, though.
Yes, he is.
And what's his name is still there? Ray Perry.
Right.
He was out, but now he's back in.
That's right.
Just when he thought he was out, they pulled him back in. Ray Perry. What does he do anyway?
He's a sales manager, pimp type guy.
A security scare about a disruptive passenger prompted authorities to evacuate 44 passengers off an American Eagle flight just after it landed yesterday at Miami International Airport.
Oh, my God.
American Eagle Flight 4262 departed from Nashville, a real rednecky Yahoo place with a bunch of real Farbissina Goyim, and was scheduled to take off from Miami for Charlotte, North Carolina, police said. Was scheduled. Well, I'm sure it already did by now, I would think. Police earlier reported that a man had been running up and down the aisle and making wild hand gestures while the plane... This is not the other one we were talking about. This is a different one. Remember the one where the guy was like, took his belt?
Right, and wrapped it around his hands.
Right, this is another one.
Started kung fu fight.
Running. He was running up and down the aisle and making wild hand gestures while the plane was preparing to take off for Charlotte. Those were rumors, Dade Police spokesman Roy Rutland said. Police received a call about a disruptive passenger. Yeah, Kung Fu. And that was the guy yesterday. Don't confuse that with this. This is another story about another crazy guy. Police received a call about a disruptive passenger while the plane was still in the air, but the nature of the disruption was not known. Passenger was questioned by police and released. All 44 passengers and 3 crew members were evacuated off the plane. Police dogs checked the plane for explosives An American Airlines spokeswoman said the flight to North Carolina was canceled and referred calls for further information to take place. Well, they probably canceled it because they only had 44 people on it. It was an American Eagle. Those are the puddle jumpers, right?
Right.
Then when it's a number like 4262, it's a puddle jumper. Like when they close their. Oh, watch your feet. We're closing the door now. You ever been on one of those?
No, I can't say that I have.
No. Just keep in. If anybody suggests to you, like if you want to go to Orlando, well, why don't you fly up on one of them puddle jumpers? Just think Lexington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just think about that airport and that little puddle jumper and those 49 dead people.
By the way, I got
thinking about that.
I got a little news bulletin for you.
Ooh.
Our boy
Troy.
He's at 790 as a sales hole. And
What a surprise.
And on Saturday from 1 to 3.
More power to you, Troy. We like you. We don't care if you're across the street with those losers. We still like you. Don't we?
I like him.
I always liked Troy. He's a good guy. I mean, he was, sometimes frustrating because he's not the brightest bulb in the pack, but nevertheless.
You're saying he's
the
a dark
in the
bulb?
sales department. Huh? He was the darkest bulb, yeah. So if you asked him a question, he probably couldn't shed too much light on it. I'm so sorry I said that.
Yeah.
No, I'm changing the whole show as of right this today. Haven't you noticed? No, I'm serious. I'm just going to go nuts for every day. They can take this phone thing. They can take this box out of here, man. They can take it out. It's not just those 5 idiots. The callers for years have been getting worse. See, things change, and one of the reasons I'm still around, while a lot of others have come and gone and fumbled their way through life. And the reason I'm still here is because you have to go with the flow.
Because you know that things change.
That's right, and you get the feeling that it just ain't like what it used to be. Once upon a time you could sit down and the phones would be ringing off the hook, and you talk to all these friendly, interesting, funny people, whatever. And that's ancient history, man.
You got a good memory.
Yeah, that's 100 years ago. Forget about that. That's crap. Well, let's talk to Mike and Margate. Screw that. Jesus, I wouldn't listen to that either. But these people now, they don't understand it. Do you think that Clarence in there? Do you think he's got any concept of talk radio, what it really is all about? Yeah, it is. It's so funny you could just laugh your ass off, man. Your kishkis could fly out from laughing so hard. Like he knows something about a talk show. Yeah. Now there's a guy. Let's put him back on.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We can't lose the license because we don't have one.
That's right. What do we got to lose? Nothing.
Right. Like Bobby McGee. What the hell did she say? Life is a piece of crap. What do you got to lose?
Just another word.
Nothing left to lose. Except your voice. And I guess she did, huh? Boy, could she sing or what?
No.
Wow, she was really... Well, it goes to show you when you do a lot of drugs. Or then again, when you work for Fox and then you go over to MSNBC.
And then it turns to the other. One of the things, there's a report out there that maybe he was dealing with depression.
Seriously, you cannot honestly say to yourself that this is really happening. There are just few things in the history of mankind, like 9/11. We just had the anniversary on Monday, and people were watching those videos over a million times again. The buildings are burning, and they're crumbling and pancaking, and people are running like crazy. And you see the planes crashing through the buildings. You think this can't possibly be happening.
Right.
And then you turn on your TV, if you're unlucky enough to turn on MSNBC when she happens to be on, all too often now, because Dan Abrams is a moron. And there she is. And you're thinking, they can't really be serious about putting this person on air like a news person, like a journalist person, Then you flip over to CNN headline news, and there's Nancy Grace, Fran. Like you can do that any time of day, and she's on there. I wouldn't be surprised she's on there right now. Let me turn over to headline news.
Aaron for the National League home run mark of 733.
Oh, no, look at this. They're talking about bogus home runs by Barry Bonds. Oh, don't tell me another one. There it goes. Might be. Could be.
Walking into the netting and right. But that, my friends, is ruled a ground rule double. Bottom of the ninth, follows at the pitch now. This time, there's no netting where this thing is
the
going.
first one bounced.
24th of the year, 732nd of his career, 23 shy of Aaron for the all-time home run.
732 and 700 of them were because he's on roids, because he's smearing that cream. I don't want to get Josh upset, but it's true.
No, you're just, hard-headed.
No, I'm just honest, that's all. He's full of crap. It's an insult to the Babe. I mean, the Babe was a big fat turd, too, but that's only because he ate all my hot dogs and drank all that beer.
You already passed the Babe, buddy.
And you're going to tell me, if you're going to start with the Henry Aaron stuff, man, it's going to be a racist thing.
Okay.
Who's darker, Barry Bonds or Henry Aaron? Work on that a little while, or OJ on the cover of Time magazine. That would be a good poll. Who's the darkest of them all? I say Sidney Poitier. He's a great actor. Wouldn't you?
He's pretty dark.
Pretty dark.
Eddie
How about
Murphy.
Kwesi Mfume?
No. Wesley Snipes is the darkest human being who ever lived.
Darkness.
Yeah. And who's the lightest of them all?
Brian Gumbel.
I'd say Malcolm. Yeah, Brian Gumbel's pretty light. Lightweight.
Colin Powell.
He's pretty light.
I'd say Malcolm. What the hell's his name?
Shamar Moore.
I beat you. I know my Shamar Moore.
I know you do.
God.
You like him more.
A lot. More than you do. 12:14 at 560 WQAM. Hey, listen, we're right in the peak, in the middle of the hurricane season. I was just reading about that this morning. Isn't it time you took the stress and worry out of last-minute hurricane preparations? Don't get caught with your shutters down. Hurricane Shutter Outlet manufactures easy-to-use accordion shutters, and now they provide expert installation, too. Call them at 954-237-7083. Be prepared for the worst. They feature roll-downs, accordions, and panels. Just like the Hurricane Shutter Outlet, custom make or even install the shutters for you. Call them right now, 954-237-7083. And get on your way to top-notch protection. The Hurricane Shutter Outlet, family-owned and operated. They are licensed, insured, and Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties approved. They stock all sizes of clear polycarbonate hurricane panels and aluminum panels cut to your specifications and ready for you to pick up, or they'll deliver them right to you. And like I said, now even install them for you if you need. The public and all contractors welcome major credit cards accepted. And when you call these folks or stop by, be sure and tell them that Neil sent you and get yourself $100 savings, $100 off on a minimum order of 350 square feet. The Hurricane Shutter Outlet. Be prepared, believe you me. Call 954-237-7083, or on the Wicked Web, just log on to HurricaneShutterOutlet.com.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I'm an ad watcher. I'm an ad watcher. Drop the board rhyme. Happens all the time. Thank you, that rhymes. I'm an ad watcher. I'm an ad watcher. Adam's apple's bobbing now. I'm a fat redneck with a dirty John Deere cap on my head and a blow-up doll, a Negro Ponte. A good old Christian boy that sits on adult love toys and a dream of a date with Ann Coulter. I'm an Ann watcher. I'm an Ann watcher. Man, that skirt is high. Dig those along, silky thighs. I'm an Ann watcher. I'm an Ann watcher. She's back on the box right now. Onward, Christian culture. That's right. Who done met this 9/11 with those big they are now? Those Iraqis shouldn't never attacked us in the first place. Oh, Lord in heaven, and you're so right. No one should be left alive but us good white Christian folk. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Move that camera lower into the budget desk. Oh,
I've never seen people enjoying their
baby. Come on, show me some cheek. Come on, show me some cheek.
I just can't stand that slut.
Amen. 1,072 votes on the poll today. That's not too shabby. We'll make 1,100. That's our goal today, 1,073. See, set the bar low, man. Set the bar low. Something or someone I don't want to hear about anymore. No mo. And Paris Hilton, man, she's got it licked. 292. War on Terror, 141. What War on Terror? Tom Cruise, 130. 100 and how many?
About 30, man.
Enough with him. Baby Suri, 111. George W. Bush, 108. But unfortunately, we got, 3 more years? Two and a quarter years.
Oh, geez,
right?
don't rub it in.
Oh, geez. How can we survive? How can the world keep spinning around? John Mark Carr, 95. Won't hear about him no more. 9/11/72. Well, we just, Monday's gone now, so they did all the obligatory things. And like that guy that faxed me yesterday giving me instructions. Oh, don't you be reading these things on air and all these wild conspiracy theories. I'll do whatever the hell I want. How do you like that, jackass?
Ooh.
Yeah. Barry Bonds, 38. And you know something? I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't put anything past a group of lunatics who would start a war and invade another country and butcher all these people and sacrifice 3,000 American kids because of the fact that, the PNAC people decided that this is the game plan, reshaping the Middle East and sticking the Americans in the oil wells. That's what it's all about. What did I say in the beginning? Before they even started with the first Iraq attack. Oil, O-I-L, and M-O-N-A-Y. Remember I was saying that every day?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, if we had anybody with an IQ larger than their ass listening, it would have meant something. And by the way, I just want to tell you right now.
Yeah?
12:22 on Thursday, September 14th. I have taken my last call on this show.
Wow.
Oh! I'm just telling you.
Write it on the calendar, Jack.
I'm not farting around. I'm not taking any more calls. They've degenerated to a point now. And, of course, there was even a period we went through. It's like anything else in evolution, you know. It reaches a point where you go through different phases. And there was a period where even some of the cranks were funny. They're not funny anymore, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just basically that's all there is. So when you're on, you do whatever you want. You know,
okay.
Whatever you want.
Hi.
You can do that. You don't even have to punch the phone. You can probably. It sounds better than what I'm hearing.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah. Screw that.
Hi, Tom.
Right. 9/11/73. Barry Bonds 38. Oh, and see, I apologize. We did. Oh, that's a pretty low number. They want to hear about Barry. Hey, Barry.
You fairy.
Mo Howard David at 28. He's pretty low on the list there. 26. So they want to hear a lot about Mo. Well, turn over to 850 and you hear him on the weekend. Don't turn over there. I hate this poll, only 25, 2.3%. They sure like it a lot better than the one the other day, whatever that was. You know which one they had a lot? I hate the poll about who's got the best ass. What was wrong with that? What's wrong with ass?
Nothing.
I mean, there are some people obsessed with ass and want to do all sorts of unnatural things with and around and, you know.
Hey, it's all natural, baby.
No, it is not.
Sure it is.
No, that's, God invented Adam and Saul.
Yeah?
I hate this poll 25. Israel, speaking of Saul 22, Saul Lipschitz. Iraq 6, Brad Pitt 6, and Nancy Grace none. How come Brad Pitt's only got 6? I guess they want to hear about Brad Pitt. Sounds like we got a big audience because we know we don't have any women. Why would a bunch of guys want to hear about Brad Pitt? They've already seen it, and believe me, there wasn't, you know. In fact, I got a ballpoint pen here that looks pretty much the same.
Oh, yeah?
You saw that. Don't you remember when I was online?
I know, you stole my magazine. I never got it back.
What? You never saw the Brad Pitt ding-a-ling?
Yeah, I brought the magazine in to show you. You took it home. I never saw it again.
Get out of here. I took it home. Oh, brother.
I'm telling you.
Well,
it was a Celebrity Sleuth magazine that had the pictures of him and Gwyneth Paltrow because it was the same occasion when they were running around by the pool, and you took it home to show some friends, and that was the last I saw it.
Never brought it back. Well, I never bring anything back.
I know, that's all right. It's okay.
I probably burned it.
I doubt that.
And Nancy Grace has the... None. They want to hear about Nancy Grace.
I told you nobody knows who she is.
Get out of here. Stop with that nonsense. There isn't anybody in the world who doesn't know who Nancy Grace is.
All right. Ask these callers.
Josh, do you know who Nancy Grace is? I'm not taking any calls.
Yeah, I do, but only because of the show.
Well,
if I wasn't on the show,
have you ever seen her on the air?
Yeah, because I've turned it on and change the channel real quick.
Disgusting, drooling, drawling. Maybe she's on now. Oh, even worse than her.
Doesn't hurt that Peter McKay is considered a
Condom Lisa.
by diplomatic standards.
Condom Lisa.
Suddenly, their harborside stroll seems
yeah.
enchanting.
This is a real, you know, when she's up in Atlantic Canada thanking and kissing and everything else. And she's hanging around with this right-wing jackass Peter McKay.
I just have tea. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah. And everybody is, the gossip is going now, you know, about that old maid. The word is dyke. Okay, that's the word. She's 52 years old. Okay, you show me a broad who's 52 years old, never been married, and I'll show you. Although I'll be honest with you, who the hell would want to touch that anyway? Yeah, here it is. Hot item in the Canadian newspapers. Peter McKay and Condi Rice. Something going on. Diplomatic relations? Question mark. Yeah. Now, which one's going to be the beard? Who are you people kidding? Okay.
You fairy.
God. Anyway, so that's what's on there now. Which seeing her is even worse than seeing Nancy Grace. Compared to Condom Pleasa, I love Nancy Grace. By comparison, she's my lady friend. Baghdad. UN Secretary General Cup of Coffee Annan has said leaders of Middle Eastern nations believe the Iraq war has been a real disaster for the region. I better do the break and then we'll finish with that. I shouldn't want to give short change to that or even loose change. Oh, there he goes again with those conspiracy things. Quit peddling that crap, man. All that conspiracy theory stuff. You're starting to sound like what's her name? Boy, don't forget tomorrow. I got to check on that thing about whether they actually file for bankruptcy tomorrow. Then maybe we can get back on 940. They got a great signal. What do you think?
It's a good plan. Let's try that out.
Just the three of us. We'll just be on all day. We'll alternate 24/7.
All right.
7 days a week. Yeah, we'll be on all day on 940 with that big booming right in the middle of the dial, 50,000 watts. It's the best AM signal in the whole state of Florida. Only cheap channels could reduce it to 1 and 2 shares, but they did a hell of a job of that. In fact, back when they were trying to do when they did sports talk, they did fractions. Just like the Fan, if you remember the Fan, in 1900 on the AM dial. And just like they did when they did talk. Remember that? Rick and Suds were on there briefly.
That's
and
right.
Mr. Ego, and they were doing like fractions. And your good close buddy, John, what's his name, too, was on there. What's his name?
John Ford.
John Ford, that's the one.
Wow, with his cardigan sweater.
Whoa, what a jackass. Talk about a phony. When we were on Zeta, me and the Bird and Caprita, and he was just sucking up and he couldn't do enough. He's in production, and he's doing bits for us, and he's putting stuff together. And then we go to PAX. You know something? I'm going to tell you right now before I move on, before my life flashes around.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the people that we have worked for, and between IOD and since you and I worked together, and QAM, you know the one place, and we've said it before, but it needs to be repeated, where they actually knew how to sell the show, how to promote the show, where they really was Paxton. I hate to say that because he's a maniac.
I know.
And a total phony and hypocrite.
I know.
But they knew how to do it, man. That log was full every day. We had spots up the old rectum. And then, of course, they even paid for our physician's visits.
And say what you will about Harry Valentine and his giant tub of Diet Coke. You could tell him something, and he would do it while you were telling him about it, and it would be done by the next day. Yeah. The inter-office email worked. People responded to it. It actually ran.
Pretty amazing. It was like a real place of business. These people, it's like, hey, we're gonna schlock it through, and fine, okay, we'll schlock it. We just don't care. If you don't care, we don't care. We don't give a flying, leaping crap. Pay us on payday and get out of our face and go away. Hey, if it's time for you to get a new mattress, don't waste any time or money driving to stores all over town, schlepping and wasting that still very expensive gas and getting all worked up into a sweat. Just sit there on your ugly ass and make one easy call to Dial a Mattress, 1-800-Mattress. Get yourself factory direct prices, lower than the chain stores, even during those so-called big phony baloney sales. You know the deal. In addition to this, Dial a Mattress has 12-month financing for you, too. And they've got the best selection anywhere and the lowest prices on Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Stearns & Foster Hewitt, Tempur-Pedic, and Simmons as well. Dial a Mattress ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction because they've got a 99.7% on-time delivery rate, because they take away the old crappy bedding and they set up the brand new one for you, and you'll be a happy camper. And if for any reason you're not happy with it, by the way, they will swap it out, no problem at all, no extra charge. That is real service. So if you want to get a new mattress that'll last you for years and give you a great night's sleep every night, just do what I've been doing for years. Make that one easy call to Dial a Mattress at 1-800-Mattress. 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for sensational savings and, of course, for schlock.
The biggest names of best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Neil Rogers.
First, we introduced you to the new Gillette Fusion. Pressure caused irritation, but the Fusion had 5 blades spaced closer together for less irritation and more comfort. But now, Gillette brings you the all-new 25-blade Fusion Power Extreme Plus Plus. Throw out that old 5-blade Fusion and your lawnmower. That 5-blade shaving technology was so 1 month ago. Step into the future with the new 25-blade Fusion Power Extreme Plus Plus. I know what you're thinking. Does it really make a difference? Just listen to these satisfied guinea pigs.
The worst shave I ever had.
Fred said it was the best shave he ever had.
The only problem is I cut off my lips.
The only problem is I cut off my lips. But feel my face.
I wonder,
No, I'm not sure what he said. When you feel this razor across your skin, you'll know something's different. You'll have no choice. It all happens with 3 easy steps. Apply the Fusion Hydra Gel. Then shave with the 25-blade Fusion Power Extreme Plus Plus. Then stop the bleeding and run to the nearest blood bank for an emergency transfusion.
Hey, sir, would you like to try the new 25-blade Fusion Power Extreme Plus Plus?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right, here you go.
Oh, there's a lot of bleeds. Oh, my God!
Let's try the other side.
Oh, my God!
The new 25-blade Fusion Power Extreme Plus Plus. Available at CVS, Rite Aid, Duane Reade, and the Home Depot.
And if you like the Schick Quattro, man, although if that wasn't quite good enough for you, now there's the Schick Quattro Titanium. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Don't tell me you're using it.
I might be. I don't know what I bought.
Oh. Josh, don't tell me you've advanced to the Schick Quattro Titanium now.
No, I don't use Schick.
I don't think you know Schick.
Sure he does.
Razors. Anyway, speaking of that G. Gordon Liddy drop, and I was just, all these things are flashing and flooding back to the days when we worked like almost in real radio. Remember that?
Yeah, vaguely.
And like people would come in a building, or even like this.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
You know, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or things like.
Hi, this is Larry King, and they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Stuff like that. And since we got all these big shots, all these guys, sports celebrities, and all these other people are coming through the station, wouldn't it be a great idea if we had the same thing like from Pat Riley for Hank or Mad Dog or Eddie K or even for us, Pat Riley's got a good sense of humor. And he does listen to this show, by the way. How you doing, Pat? Get a haircut. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Or like even Nick Saban. I mean, he was on there. I mean, granted, they butchered that thing up. They doctored that up a little bit. That was pretty good, by the way. Nice going, Kenny. I like Kenny. He's okay. And even Bo Camper, if they just put a muzzle around him, he's harmless. You know, in other words, these are the kinds of things. But I don't get it. It's just, not that I care you understand. I don't want to get you confused. Just keep saying.
Yeah, don't confuse me.
I don't care.
That's right. We got to get that song.
I don't care. I don't care. Who did that? That was an old Jimmy Durante song.
Like vaudeville stuff there.
Yeah, old Jimmy Durante there. Maybe it was Eddie Cantor. I don't care. I don't know. Chicken Neck would know. He's big on. I'm sure he must have been a big Jimmy Durante fan because all these inky dinky do things he does.
Right.
Yeah, inky dinky do. U.S. Secretary General Kofi Annan said leaders of Middle Eastern nations believe the Iraq War has been a real disaster for the region.
Absolutely correct, sir.
His comments to reporters yesterday came after a 2-week trip to the Middle East and on a day when separate bomb attacks killed at least 22 people in Baghdad. Honestly, most of the leaders I spoke to felt the invasion of Iraq and its aftermath has been a real disaster for them. He said they believe it has destabilized the region. He went on to describe 2 schools of thought. Those who believe the U.S. should stay, having created the problem they can't walk away, and those especially in Iran who believe the presence of the U.S. is a problem, just them being there. Well, that's Iran, of course. It's okay for them to be there, but Annan said in his opinion that the U.S. has found itself in a position where it cannot stay and cannot leave. In other words, kind of a catch-28, catch-87. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. In Wednesday's violence erodes, well, we know that. I already had that on. All this about bodies over here and bodies over there and the year's second highest monthly total of bodies arrived at Baghdad's morgue in August, Iraqi authorities say, but the figures do not include people killed by bombs or other mass attacks. About 1,500 bodies were delivered to Baghdad's morgue last month, according to figures provided by an Iraqi Health Ministry official on condition of anonymity, because he values his life and he's probably got a beard. The figure is second only to July's total of 1,850 bodies. We're kicking ass, baby. And, of course, 2 more. Let's see. The number of deaths. Oh, look at that. 2,666 U.S. troops.
Ooh.
2,666. I think the Lord is about to smote somebody pretty soon. He's had it with this bush crap. He's going to smote and smite. Here's a fax that says, I saw an article about Air America mentioned cheap channels conducting a nationwide search for... For a new progressive talk show host, would you consider yourself for nomination? No.
I should do that for entertainment.
I wouldn't work for cheap. It's bad enough I work for these grave robbers, these schlockmeisters, okay? Schlocky Joe. That'd be the last thing. It said, you would be great, although I hope you won't suffer from the Phil Henry effect. His show started to suck once he went national. At the very least, you should simulcast your show on satellite to get more exposure. Even that hack Todd Schmidt is now on XM. The XM don't want me. They got too many truck drivers. They got too many stories. Sirius Stern wanted me on there, then they didn't, and Norma blew that down the toilet. Actually, it was the Beasley that blew down the toilet with that Fort Myers thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
They pissed Stern off, and he told them, okay, you're not paying us, so we're not going to be on your station anymore. And that was the last we ever heard from them. He had their guy contact me. Remember that? Very briefly, and it looked like something might happen, and it didn't. The article also said Franken had a base salary of $2 million, which blew my mind when you consider how bad his show is. Not Al Franken, even without Catherine Lanford. I guess it is moot that they don't pay anyway. Randy Rhodes should be lucky if JNO gives her old job back, it says. Randy? She's a star now. She's writing liner notes on the back of books.
That's right.
Yeah, right there with Noam Chomsky and Randy Rhodes, man. What a matchup. There's a website called thedirtmiami.com, which was reported. Oh, and you'll never guess who was on yesterday? Oh, my God. Let me give you a little clue, okay?
On what?
Just a minute. On TV.
If I had the ability to do it, I'd take you out here right now and kick your teeth in.
Alex Bennett?
Alice Bennett. He didn't look a day over 100. He was on one of the talking head channels debating some crap, on some political crap. He didn't look a day over 300. And he was right there on television. Remember how he used to say that? Television. He was such a wimpy nerd. And he drove a Miata, which there was nothing wrong with the car, but just the way he said it, a Miata. Oh, God. You know what? He's what's wrong with the Democratic Party, people like him and Jew Lieberman. Not that Jew Lieberman's a Democrat, no more. Oh, and by the way, you're going to be very angry when I get to the next thing here, but I'll save it after the break. You know how you hate Kraft?
I do.
Well, I got another company you're going to hate even worse.
Okay.
Anyway, it says there's a website called thedirtmiami.com which was reporting that Simon Cowell threw a fit when his black Amex was denied at the CVS pharmacy on Lincoln Road last Monday and was screaming at the cashier. What is a black Amex?
I don't know. I was just going to ask you.
I don't know. I got all the other gold and green, and there's a blue one. Anyway, it says mysteriously it's been removed from the website. I'll bet they were threatening legal action if he didn't have the cojones to stand up to him. How do you like that, Simon Cowell? Oh, who cares about Simon Cowell? First, this guy's telling me I ought to be on syndicated national. Then he's starting a song and dance about Simon Cowell. See that? Man, Who's more important, Colin Powell or Simon Cowell? Both of which affect my bowel. Believe me, bad, and not in a positive way either. We got 1,100 votes yet, or what? I just mentioned 11:24. We'll make 1,200 easy today. It's 12:42. We got the Mad Dog at 2, the Power Hour, Hank and the Mad Dog 4 to 5, and the Humper Solo 5 to 7. 2 solid hours for Fatso today. Work off a little bit of that flab, sweetheart.
That was fun.
And then you got that Hurricane crap 7 to 10, which I guess we have to do that because we got the games on here. Now who are they playing this week? Josh says they might get beat by Louisville.
It's a good possibility.
Good, excellent. I hope they get beat like 117 to nothing. Would be great. What? You know why I say that, don't you?
I do.
The Hurricanes fucking blow.
That's why. And then the Dolphins play the Bills. Now, the Bills are going to be really smarting from blowing that game to the Patriots last week when they had a nice 17-7 lead in the third quarter.
And then they got a safety.
And then they also had first and goal inside the 10-yard line. Remember that?
Yep.
With 17-7, they had a chance to put us away, baby. It was curtains. I thought, oh, boy, woe is us. Woe is us. And then, allegedly, they stopped him on the 7-yard line. And then, what the hell's the running back's name?
Willis McGahee.
McGahee?
Yeah.
For Buffalo?
Yeah.
He said, I thought it was third down. It's 4th and 1. They go for it. And I guess his knee went down before he got, because he actually got the ball over where it was. But it was, his knee went down first. And so he was short. He didn't make it. And the ball goes over to the Patriots, who then drive down the field for a touchdown. And he said, I thought it was third down.
Well,
Yeah, who the hell can count that high?
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
That was funny.
Up the butt.
What was it?
Do that again.
Rectum.
Gelzy, talking on a sports show, trying to be macho. Your voice sounds just like a 7-year-old girl, a little sports host shill. What else are you there for, Gelzy? Talking like a baby who needs a little training. Why can't you understand? You don't sound like a man. Remove the rubber bands that choke your scrotum, Gelzy. Your lucky management don't care. 'Cause Geldy, you don't belong there on the air. And Geldy, the sports can wait till your voice cracks. 'Cause anyone who sounds like that should find another job.
Absolutely.
And they should only take you back when both your BBs drop. So Geldy, when you gonna grow up? You make us want to throw up. You silly squeaky fool. Go to broadcasting school. Your prepubescent voice makes you sound like a putz. You're a putz.
Yes.
You're a putz. You're a
Okay, you asked for it, and believe you me, now listen very carefully, okay? I'm going to do this again.
All right.
It sounds as good as you did the first time. One moment, please.
Up the butt.
How are you doing that?
But what?
How are you doing that?
What do you mean, how am I doing that?
I mean, which machine are you playing that from?
Which machine?
Yeah,
It's a good machine, man. In fact, I could do a whole bunch of them here.
Up the butt.
See, because the trip cue is like,
excellent.
So it's tripping it before he finishes saying it. You follow what I'm saying?
Excellent.
See, there you go.
Wow.
No, look. Monkey see, monkey do. Don't be doing it now just because I done it.
Monkey do.
Yeah, monkey. That's what it smells like. That's what Geldy sounds like. Anyway, this is a horrible story. Port Richey. Now, you know where that is, Josh. Well, no, I mean, it's nowhere near Leesburg.
Is it anywhere near Newport Richey?
Newport Richey. Well, there's Newport Richey and there's just Port Richey, I guess. I don't know. It's all a bunch of rednecks, man. Any one of these towns is rednecks. Although I hear they have a fantastic mall in Brandon. The mother, like I'm supposed to know that? And he gets all indignant about it. It's the third biggest mall in the country. Who cares, Life is more than a stupid shopping mall, Like the guy that called me a few months ago.
There's nothing else there.
Listen to me. Right. Guy calls me a few months ago. He says, when I was talking about downtown Miami and nobody wants to go there, which they still don't, and he's giving me this song to dance about. Remember he sent me the fax first? And then he's giving me a lecture about, it was on a fax. It was going to be a big shopping, a huge mall down there, bigger than the Eaton Center in Toronto. Like I'm supposed to be impressed by the size of the mall. What's that got to do with it? I'm sure that Westland in Detroit is bigger than the Eaton Center, too. Does that make Detroit a desirable place to live?
No.
Of course not. Life based on shopping malls. Like people say, is there any good talk radio there in Rochester? Come on. Get a life, will you please?
I have no life.
Jesus. I mean, if this is the barometer that your life is based on, then I would end it now. Make some room for somebody else. Speaking of that, the mother of a newborn baby girl found dead in a trash can turned herself in today to face charges of second-degree murder. Christine Michelle Jameson, 29, of Hudson, I never heard of that, works at the Target in Port Richey, where employees found the body Monday in a clear plastic trash bag in an employee restroom trash can. Oh, my goodness.
You're supposed to use an opaque bag for disposing of babies.
That's always a better idea. A clear plastic trash bag. The cause of death hasn't been determined, but detectives believe the baby was alive when it was born, according to Sheriff's spokesman Kevin Dahl. The medical examiner determined it had air in its lungs, Dahl said. Target manager sent detectives to Jameson, who had been sent home because she looked sick. She did have a baby while at Target, the arrest report said. She agreed to go to a local hospital for treatment. The home phone number listed on her arrest report was disconnected. Unclear if she had a lawyer yet. The baby was at least the third newborn to be found abandoned and dead in the Tampa Bay area this year. I bet you the other two were in Brandon. Now, probably one was in Lutz.
Yeah.
And the other one was probably like in
Dunedin.
Clearwater. Or some other rednecky place. Brandon. Could be Bartow.
Mm-hmm. Dunedin.
Now, Barstow is in California. Bartow is in Florida.
Right.
See, aren't you learning some crap already here?
I'm writing it all down.
Yeah, now this is the thing that's going to get you very unhappy.
All right.
Well, let me ask you first, what do you think of Google?
I like it, I guess.
I love it. Well, I used to.
I use it for searching, but that's all.
Google is eager to work with the Republican Party and has boosted its presence in Washington, D.C., according to a roll call by way of Raw Story. Google, one of the fastest-growing companies in Silicon Valley, is ramping up its political clout in D.C. while taking a series of steps to court Republicans, reports Tori Newmeyer and Paul Kane for roll call. The company is filing paperwork today to open its first-ever political action committee, and later this month it will make an endangered GOP incumbent the beneficiary of its first-ever Washington fundraiser.
Oh, boy.
The search engine giant this month also deepened its ties to Republicans by inking a deal with former GOP Senators Dan Coates of Indiana, a real jackass, and even a worse jackass, Connie Mack of Florida, to lobby on its behalf. I got news for her. Connie Mack, if his granddaddy wasn't Connie Mack, the baseball genius, he wouldn't have gotten 4 votes, even with fixed machines. Connie Mack my ass.
I bet he would.
Ooh, they're macking on Jesus now. On Wednesday, the company with TechNet will co-host its first-ever Washington fundraiser on behalf of Representative Heather Wilson of New Mexico, one of the most endangered GOP incumbents, and a supporter of Google's position on net neutrality, the key Internet regulatory issue that got Google entangled with the phone and cable companies. eBay, the online auction company, is also a co-host. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's any, cronyism involved there, but like any, got my hand and was scrubbing your hand. The company's PAC, officially known as GoogleNet PAC, is filing its paperwork with the FEC today. In another sign of an effort at corporate political balance, GoogleNet PAC has retained Ben Ginsberg. Now, there is one of the most obnoxious people on the face of the earth. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
Oh, God. You look at him with his red face and his beard. Oh, he's got a beard. Just dawned on me. GoogleNet has retained Ben Ginsberg, the top political lawyer at Patton Boggs, and one-time counsel of both Bush Cheney 2000 and Bush Cheney 2004. Ginsberg is serving as an outside advisor to the PAC, ensuring that it adheres to campaign finance laws. He's a self-hating right-wing Jew, is what he is, Ben Ginsberg. God. Advisors to the company say the PAC likely will become a key to funneling money to GOP lawmakers, given the democratic leanings of its donor employees. Enough to make you want to get on your hands and knees and just vomit and puke your guts out, huh?
Yeah.
When in doubt, puke it out, baby. Christ. But you know something? I'm still going to be Googling it.
Yeah.
1,148 votes. We got 1,200 licked. In fact, if I'd have pushed it, we could have made 1,300 again. But I don't want to do that, You push it too much and you can wear it out. In fact, that's the next story here about that former teacher, which you didn't even know about. And guess where that was, too, about the sex with the kid?
Florida.
Tampa. Where in Florida, baby?
Tampa.
There you go.
The biggest names.
Redneck
of
Kevin,
best
baby.
talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
1 to 2 hour.
butt.
Sir, do you have any liquids?
I'm not telling.
Oh, you must be gelling.
Oh, does that make me a felon?
Hey, no need for yelling. Let me get my supervisor, Ellen.
Sir, are you gelling?
Oh, your question is compelling.
Let's see what the dogs are smelling. You are so gelling.
Oh, you caught me, you infidelins.
Let's go. In Gitmo, you'll be dwelling.
Hey, don't tell Joyce that it's swollen. She'll get upset about it.
Yes, she will.
1:02, 2 minutes after 1. We got Mad Dog coming up very soon.
All right.
2 o'clock. Former teacher, sex with pupil, really bad choice, she says. Tampa, really bad choice.
Yeah.
Not what he thought. A former middle school teacher serving house arrest for having sex with a 14-year-old pupil said in a television interview that she was deeply troubled at the time and crossed the line that should never have been crossed. Deborah LaFave, 25, blonde. She looks like, well, it's a bad picture, I guess. She looks not bad, but just old.
Okay.
She looks like 50. Well, she's been through a hell of a lot, you know.
That's all right. I'll soothe her pain.
Deborah LaFave, 25. You've seen her, I guess.
Yeah, a lot.
She's what's her name? The weather lady on Channel 7, the Filipino lady.
Much hotter.
Exactly. I don't know what that's all about. It's just bad eyesight, I guess. Or maybe
She's
she
got
just knows
big
the right
boobs.
people. She's got big boobs?
Yes.
Not as big as Miss Kamal, though. Deborah LaFave, 25, who became a tabloid sensation after her arrest in 2004, also acknowledges that her victim might have a hard time trusting women one day. I'm sure he has to be living with the guilt of, quote, unquote, ratting me out. According to transcripts of the interview with Matt Lauer released by NBC this week, the interview was to air today on the Today Show, so I guess we missed it, and on Dateline NBC, so that'll be on tonight. Oh, I got to see that. I got to see that. You'll be watching it, because Debbie will be on there. Debbie LaFave. Yeah, you'll be watching.
Whatever.
She's apologized and said bipolar disorder contributed to her state of mind at the time.
She's bi, too? All right. I'm
She
liking her
told
more
Lauer
already.
she never thought she was really committing rape when she had sex with a teen, but now realizes she made a really, really, really bad choice. There's 3 reallys in there.
That's right.
Almost as many as those Geldy
Should have
birds.
been having sex with me.
She acknowledges that the case got so much attention when similar cases get little or none because she's attractive. Sex sells, she said. Very profound, sweetheart. Very profound. LaFave said she has a difficult time thinking of herself as a sexual predator, as she is now classified under Florida law. She's 25, the kid was 14. I was a kind-hearted person who loved children, would never, do anything to break the law, she said. I was a good person, and now everything has just changed, so it's just really hard for me to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is a bad choice, but, she got caught with his panties down, I guess, something like that. Not good. Not good, sweetheart. Oh, President Bush met today with the South Korean president.
So that our professionals will feel comfortable about going forward with the program.
There you go. Bada beep, bada boop, bada ba. And the best part of it is the South Korean president, who speaks no English, spoke better English than your president. 1163 on a vote meter. By the way, the Diebold people are working on the vote tally. By the end of the show, there will be 10,000. Gaithersburg, Maryland. Well, thank God we got a story from someplace besides Florida. Boy, we've been Florida intensive today. How do you like that bitch that takes she has a baby in Target, and she puts it in a clear plastic bag and throws it in the trash?
I thought it was in Walmart.
Target.
Okay.
Will you stop?
I'm still going to shop
You
there.
are relentless, man. You like Target, you hate Walmart, so right away you place this bitch, this broad, whatever she is.
Just those kinds of things usually happen at Walmart.
She was at Target. There's plenty of rednecks that go to Target, okay? There are plenty of trailer trash, sloppy, whatever, that go to, I don't know what she looks like.
Hey, I can't swing Target.
She did it at Target.
All right.
And she put the baby in a plastic bag. Well, at least she put it in a clear plastic bag so somebody could see it.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah, I guess they didn't see it in time, but a Maryland substitute teacher was arrested after an alleged anti-Islamic tirade in front of high school students. You see that? Don't be doing such crap.
Okay.
Carol Joan McVeigh. I wonder if she was kin to Howard McVeigh, the driver at Hazel Park. And he had a daughter who was a driver, too. I forget what her name, Gail McVeigh. Boy, what a memory. Jesus, for stuff that nobody has any idea what it is. I don't care. Carol Joan McVeigh, 49, was charged with resisting arrest, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and disturbing the peace. Police said McVeigh became upset when she heard some students at Gaithersburg High School, who were being assisted by another teacher, practicing a speech and using some Arabic words. Uh-oh, not a good sign. The Washington Post said she reacted after overhearing the group utter an Islamic greeting of peace. Now, what is it that they say?
What, the Arabs?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum?
That's it.
Okay.
See, I knew you knew it.
I don't know that from Arabs, though. I know that from the brothers, Yo, yo, yo.
Oh, they say that, too? Well, that's because they're all Muslims now, so they can put on them fancy
They aren't.
names,
They just like to say that.
Like Amphony.
Assalamu salam.
Charging documents, Anthony, alleged McVeigh shouted, Islam doesn't mean peace, it means killing everyone for peace. And because of you, our families died in New York. I see. It's not known if anyone who heard the alleged remarks is Muslim. Authorities said McVeigh went to the school, to the orifice, to express her displeasure about the speech and the assisting teacher, and was told by the principal that her services were no longer needed at the school. How do you like that? Of course, she was a substitute teacher. Don't make waves, honey. One thing in the schools, baby, do not make any waves. Just mind your own business. Keep your nose clean. Pick it a lot.
That's right.
Police said she refused to leave, was escorted from the school by the education facility's orificer. While being escorted from the building, she allegedly yelled at a Hispanic teacher about the inappropriateness of speaking to students in languages other than English. How do you like that? Oh, boy. She said something like, "Caxajois." Once the substitute teacher was outside, police said, she tried to re-enter the school, and the school's educational facilities officer attempted to place her under arrest, but she resisted, and an additional officer was called in to assist her ass. Police said McVeigh was released on her own recognizance. How do you like that? An alleged anti-Islamic tirade in front of her high school students. Charging documents allege she shouted, Islam doesn't mean peace, it means killing everyone for peace, and because of you, our families died in New York. Well, I would have fried her ass for that. What kind of a bitch is that? She,
Right.
Well, like supposedly we're supposed to sympathize with her? Crazy bitch.
Mm-hmm.
These are the kind of people that are polluting your kids' minds, baby. Bringing all these people off the streets, all these lunatics. Poor Paris Hilton, man. She takes so much crap from you people, and deservedly so, by the way. She's a nasty thing.
Yes, she is.
Vile.
Skanky.
Oh, skanky. Ann Coulter is skanky. Paris Hilton is way beyond that. Something or someone I don't want to hear any more about. Paris Hilton, 325. How about Ann Coulter? She'd have done good on this poll. Please. In fact, she gave everybody else a big handicap. I'd put her on there right now, Ann Coulter. You'll see she'll go zooming up there. You'll see. Don't believe me, do you?
I believe you.
Paris Hilton, 325. The War on Terror, 151. Oh, it's bad. When does it start, by the way? When do we start with the War on Terror? After we're finished invading all these, killing all these innocent people who had nothing to do with it? Tom Cruise, 143. Baby Surrey, 117. George W. Bush, 114. Oh, I see. It does make sense, though. If you're going to invade Iraq and there weren't like a lot of terrorist groups in there, make sure that you wind up with a lot of them in there afterward. So then you can say, see, it's a bastion of terrorism there in Iraq, and Al-Qaeda's in there and all these other terrorist groups. They weren't there before, but we paved the way. George W. Bush speaking, about 115. Enough with him. John Mark Carr, 105. 9/11, 79. Barry Bonds, only 41. They love Barry. We love you, Barry. Smear that ass. He's smearing it. Mo Howard David, who used to pick, 31 dingleberries. Some people, they pick strawberries in the fields.
Right.
Like that bit, we got strawberry fields forever.
Yes, he
and
does.
Other people pick dingleberries. I hate this poll, only 27, 2.2%. Israel, 22 votes.
Oi!
Enough with that already, okay? And quit with the cluster bombs. Iraq, 7. Nancy Grace, 6. And Brad Pitt, only 6. He's on the bottom with Nancy Grace. They're bottom feeding. See, we could have made the 1,300 if we'd really pushed it, but, we'll have 12-something. Comfortably. Comfortable 1,200 is fine with me. Wouldn't you say?
Right.
No, especially on a Thursday. Now, tomorrow we're going to, push heavy duty. We want 10,000 votes. Doug Thompson writes, do I dare read a Doug Thompson column, or do I want to, do the break first? I guess I better do the break. But there's a little tease for you. It's the system, stupid. He's doing a column every day now, Doug Thompson, on CapitolHillBlue.com. And he don't pull any punches, man. He, the last couple of them, this one's okay. Not as good as the other ones. It's a little bit too cerebral. But the last two where he just ripped Bush and Rumsfeld an ass, just ripped and tore and shredded. It was sweet. It was beautiful. Wouldn't you say?
I would say.
I'd say Doug Thompson for emperor.
Although I'd rather say, have you looked at that picture that Josh Cordes sent you?
Of what?
Of one of our favorite people.
One moment, please. It's in Hotmail?
That's right. I like it when we do this live on the air.
Do what?
When you see a funny picture for the first time, then we get to catch fresh
it's
laughter.
A funny picture. I thought maybe it was like a naked picture of some,
Well, sometimes those can be funny, too.
Okay, loading. Here we go. 2 messages. The other one says, oh, you just won $100 million. I don't have it.
Uh-oh. Here you go.
I got Campaign.com. I got a Village Voice newsletter. I have nothing from Josh.
Maybe I should resend it.
See, I'm having these problems. Like Joe Bell alleges that he sent me one the other day, which never showed up. And now Josh just sent me one, and it still ain't there. How long ago did you send it?
Like half hour?
Well, it's not there. I think you must have sent it to Yahoo.
No, I'm looking at it. I sent it there.
You're looking at it?
Yep.
I'm going to resend it.
Huh? Resend it. Reset it during the break. Yeah, like you said, don't let's do it on the air because it kills some good time.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Leave that sucked ass.
77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. We'll lock the Chinese with the bombing and do some really sweet and diving. We got come down from Ghana's running scared with Michigan, Southern and Dread. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. We're gonna throw both exhibitions and wrap the shakers up in tzitzit. We'll make them eat a pound of halava and have an eye for an eye. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. We're destroying these annoying. Are listen up like Dr. Boyle. Maruka Hakaroy Katsahoy. We'll never see eye to fly. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip. 77 Gaza Strip.
118 at 560 WQAM. Happy Thursday, September 14. If you're waiting for phone calls, you won't hear them on this show, not when I'm on. In fact, that's all the more reason they can salivate waiting for you to
Oh, yeah. A rare
phone.
treat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vacations, and that's summertime. Let's move. Let's speed the clock up.
Yeah,
let's get the calendar moving along and make it like the end of May already. Let's just pretend we did all these months. President Bush made a rare visit to Capitol Hill today as key Republican senators who oppose the administration's military tribunal plan for suspected terrorists gained a powerful ally. Guess who it was? You mentioned him before, light-complected.
Colin Powell.
That's it. The president's former Secretary of State. In a letter to one of the major opponents of Bush's plan, Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona, former Secretary of State Roland Colin Powell said he opposed the part of the proposal that would amend the interpretation of Article 3 of the Geneva Conventions. The White House and the Senate GOP leadership are at odds with McCain and Senators Lindsey Graham of South Carolina and John Warner of Virginia, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, over the administration's tribunal plan. Powell said the world is beginning to doubt the moral basis of our fight against terrorism. He wrote in a letter yesterday to McCain, whose amendment last year opposed the use of torture. To redefine Common Article 3 would add to those doubts. Furthermore, it would put our own troops at risk, he said. And the sweetest part of all of this is Powell's letter surfaced while Bush was having a morning meeting with Republican lawmakers to lobby for the tribunal plan. So maybe Colin has tried rebuild a little bit of credibility after selling the world out, holding up that vial at the UN and reading that speech that he said first he wasn't going to read about Saddam and those weapons of mass destruction and yada, 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 and leading all these people to their ultimate death. You know, how does that feel?
Soft and squishy.
1,194 votes. We got a chance at 1250. What do you say?
We can do it.
In fact, didn't we look up WGVA? I think I looked at it. It was 1250, 1260, 1240 on the dial. That's Geneva. Isn't that what they drafted the Geneva Convention? Geneva, New York, baby. WGVA. What a place. It's the system, stupid, writes Doug Thompson on CapitolHillBlue.com, George's very favorite website next to our story. What?
Next to NeilRogers.com.
Oh. And next to WQM.com, which Josh Cordes is trying to rehabilitate.
It's fantastic.
Doug Thompson says America is in free fall, and a failed nation led by failed leaders with failed ideas serving a lemming-like populace that views failure as an acceptable alternative. Today's America is flawed in so many ways that analysis of the complex events that led us to the precipice is difficult at best. How did we get here? Can we save what was once a great country built upon noble notions of freedom? Is redemption possible or even desirable? It's easy to point blame at George W. Bush. He's a monumental failure as a president, a serial liar who led this nation into a war that cannot be won. He and those who both serve and advise him systematically dismantled the Constitution, trampled the freedoms upon which that hallowed document is based, and destroyed a democratic republic that has stood the test of time, bad leaders and assaults for more than 2 centuries. Bush, however, capitalized on a system of government that's been failing for decades, seizing opportunity made possible by an ever-increasing federal bureaucracy, rampaging government waste and corruption, and constant, unrelenting assaults upon our individual freedoms and rights, like playing fart sounds. Republicans took over control of Congress in the 1994 midterm elections by nationalizing the debate over abuse of federal authority and promising through a propaganda milestone called the Contract with America to reduce the size and role of government, rid the system of pork barrel politics, and do away with self-serving political interests that controlled Washington, or as Chris Matthews would say, politics. Instead, the power, size, and cost of government has grown as never before under the Republican leadership of Congress, and along with it, the power of special interest groups who pay the bills for multi-million-dollar election campaigns. Over the last 12 years, that GOP-led Congress passed budget-busting budget bills laden with pork and subservient to the power brokers who prowl the halls of government like mafia bagmen, passing out favors to those who deliver the goods. I bet you Mel Gibson's glad they loaded up with pork. Republicans sold America to the special interests who in turn poured money into the campaign coffers that have, in effect, allowed the GOP to buy elections by overwhelming opponents with far less financing. We saw the power of money this week in Rhode Island, where a multi-million-dollar GOP voter turnout effort turned the tide for Senator Lincoln Chafee, or as Chris Matthews would say, Link. I thought Link was on the Mod Squad.
Still is.
Such success has its cost, and the bill for this comes from a devil called corruption. Republicans sold their souls to that devil a long time ago in a bid to take and then keep control of Congress. The scandals that brought down Republican power lobbyist Jack Abramoff and cost GOP office holders like Tom DeLay and Duke Cunningham their jobs is part of a much larger scandal of how money and power corrupt politics, but that investigation is stalled in the Justice Department controlled by the Bush administration, and the promise of real campaign reform lies buried under a mountain of broken promises on Capitol Hill. But while the Republicans turned corruption into an art form, they didn't invent it. Congress was a corrupt old boy network before the GOP marched into leadership offices after the 94 elections. Democrats played favors and owed their souls to the power brokers of organized labor and other special interest groups. Savvy political operatives like Congressman Tony Coelho taught Democrats how to sell votes to big business in exchange for fat contributions from political action committees. Coelho quit Congress amid questions about his own financial dealings and later resigned as the chairman of Al Gore's presidential campaign because of a Justice Department investigation into even more shady deals. Republicans have Duke Cunningham, Democrats have William Jefferson. When the Democrats controlled Congress, Ways and Means Chairman Dan Rostenkowski went to jail for misusing his congressional office funds. He followed a long line of Democratic chairmen to fall from grace. Remember Wayne Hayes or Wilbur Mills of Arkansas? Political corruption goes back to the beginnings of the Republic. George Washington faced charges of selling favors to the special interests of his day. The term lobbyist comes from the favor seekers who used to hang out in the lobby of the Willard Hotel in Washington and wait for a drunken President U.S. Grant to emerge from the bar so they could bribe him into seeing things their way. Remember U.S. Grant?
Sure do.
He was probably the worst American president ever up until present. There is no doubt that the current president of the U.S. and the leadership of Congress must go. They have individually and collectively abused the public trust and abandoned the Constitution they swore to uphold. The very survival of the Republic may depend on what voters do in the November midterm elections and again in 2008. Yet I'm not convinced that replacing one set of politicians with another can fix the problems that face America. All we really do is kick out one group of bought and sold political hacks and put another set in their place. Nancy Pelosi is a politician for sale, just like Denny Hastert, who butchered the national anthem the other day. She just has different owners. None of the corrupt votes for sale to the highest bidder elected officials believe they owe anything to average Americans. George W. Bush's failed war in Iraq may be the central issue of this election, but the problems that infect our body politic go much, much deeper. The core of our government is rotting and corrupt and may take more drastic action than just angry voters at the ballot box to rid the system of the cancer that threatens this country. Bill Clinton served terms in office because he beat the current president's dad, a failed president, and the best the Republicans could muster against him in 1996, God forbid, was Bob Dole. Clinton was hardly a shining example of political or moral leadership. He abused the powers of his office and dallied with an intern when he should have been tending to business. Several members of his administration went to jail, and he lost his law license for lying under oath. Bush, too, gets 2 terms because the best the Democrats could come up with were Al Gore and John Kerry. The final chapter of Bush's presidency is not yet written, but it won't be pretty or complimentary. His many failures will serve future courses of political science on the cost of failed leadership. Would Gore have been any better? We'll never know, but given his lackluster political career to date and his own ethical problems with fundraising as senator and vice president, I doubt it. When you look at the choices we faced on the presidential ballots of modern times, you have to question a political system that allows such people to rise to the top. When failed, flawed candidates are the only choices, all you get is a failed, flawed president. For 2008, the picture doesn't look much better. Our choices may be between Hillary Clinton and John McCain. There's a signpost up ahead, and it says, "Next stop, the Twilight Zone," says Doug Thompson.
Good
now, I know if I would have been on the ball, I could have read that and then gone like that, but I'm not on the ball. I'm sharp as a matzo ball. Hey, I'm just evolving into this whole new deal of my life. Started like Sinatra said, the corrupt Frank Sinatra. I'm going to do it my way, man. Screw all this other crap. All the chazarai. Screw them. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
1,210 votes, 1210. That's WCAU in Philadelphia, baby. One of America's stations. Now, what the hell did I used to listen to on that? Did they have hockey games on it or something, or basketball games? Oh, the day, man. WCKY in Louisville, Kentucky. Oh, speaking of Louisville, going to kick the Hurricanes' ass this week. What day is that game? Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, 3:30.
3:30. Well, when does the tailgate start? Oh! Yeah, I think it starts tomorrow, doesn't it? About 9:45. We love the Hurricanes. They really suck. I think it starts 9:55 tomorrow morning. Hurricane tailgate party.
That's a good idea.
Well, look how well it worked out the first time, man.
Sure.
They lost. They lost to FSU and old Bobby Bowden. Speaking of rednecks. Now, they're not going to lose. I mean, aren't we cursed down here, man? Down there?
Yeah.
Hurricanes lose their season opener to FSU, to the much-hated and dreaded FSU, in a game that had, like, offense from hell. Couldn't complain about the offense in that game because there wasn't any. And then the Dolphins, of all things, just when it looked like they might actually have a shot in there, oh, 2 bad interceptions there in the fourth quarter by Danny's Culls Peppers. And what's going to happen when he goes down, you know, because he's always injured. He's one of those guys that's perpetually injured. If it's not the knee, it's the
rectum.
Something else.
Especially with this offensive line.
Oh, yeah, with this offensive line, man, it's going to be pretty offensive. And so what's going to happen when Joey Heatherton goes in there?
Well, instead of 2 interceptions, it'll be 4.
Yeah, instead of having like a pitcher named Annabelle, we're going to have like Joey Heatherton at quarterback.
The biggest names of best talent. This is Neil Rogers. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The doctor that performed the surgery on Jay Fiedler's thumb, isn't he the same doctor that performed the procedure on your toupee?
It's the doctor who performed the surgery. Let's think about that. What's his name? Klein?
Fiedler's doctor?
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know who he used. Did he use George Caldwell? I'm not sure.
I think Caldwell's the doctor, isn't he?
I'm not sure where he went. Did he go to Holy Cross? I didn't read it. Not sure.
Well, bottom line is that the doctors can't tell how long Jay's going to be out.
No, you're not sure. Somewhere at least a month, could be up to 8 weeks, somewhere in there.
Wally on the Wall with you on QAM.
This here meeting at a Homos will come to order.
It's Hamas, not Homos.
Shut up, you moron. I calls it the name Homos because when I say go, see? And as your exhausted leader of Homos, none other than I, Mo, say that Homos officially does not recognize Israel.
What do you mean? It's right over there.
I'm very sorry, but I do not recognize it.
But you've seen it before. It's right there.
No, that I do not recognize.
Here, right here. Look on that map. Right there.
On my face.
Look. There's a lady in the water.
Where? That ain't no lady in the water. You're trying to get me look at that map. Get the crap out of my
right
face.
Here,
Now, see here.
I can see here. You're the one that's blind.
You know, I did get it. Desmond Decker said it best. Those are the bums that are dropping the bomb. For that I no longer recognize.
The Israelites.
That's because you're an ignorant moron. What's that you said about the national?
You might have dropped you on the top of your head. It's about time I gave you a really good sense.
Not Homos, it's a lot, you unemployable slob. No wonder I had no problem taking over your
1,222 votes, 1222, man. There's nothing like having a nice tutu. This is a good story from San Jose. An NBC 11 viewer submitted photos of a shrimp, he said, has the face of Jesus on it.
Oh, my God.
All right. Okay, look at that. Looks like Jesus to me.
Jesus Christ.
Steve Faust of El Dorado Hill said he discovered the face a few weeks ago. But that thing with the hairpiece, that's just a beauty, isn't it? I haven't played that often enough.
I forgot how funny that was.
The long pause, you know, counting 1, 2, hit the delay, 3. Yeah, didn't work. Faust brought the shrimp at the deli seafood counter at the Sacramento area Winco grocery store. He cooked the shrimp on the Barbie, skewered along with a tri-tip. What is a tri-tip?
I can only assume it's a fork with 3 prongs.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh. After he pulled the meat from the shrimp. Oh, I see. Like a skewer. You know, you put like onion and pepper and meat and the shrimp.
Like a shank.
After he pulled the meat from the shrimp, he loved a Shawshank. He tossed the tail onto a plate and didn't think much of it. Then he looked again and saw what he says is the face of Jesus
Christ.
Looking back at him. Maybe it's just Rick Riley going back at you. Faust, who's going through a nasty divorce, and I can't even begin to imagine why, said that when he saw the face, he felt relieved from all the stress. There was a sense of calm that I've never experienced before. All right. Oh, my God, he's macking on Jesus again. I've heard about people receiving signs, but I've never known anyone who experienced it myself until now, he said. Whether a believer or not, Faust said he just hopes the shrimp tail brings a sense of hope and smile to everyone's face. Faust still has the so-called holy shrimp. He put it in the freezer, hasn't decided what he's going to do with it, but I bet you dimes to donuts he winds up selling it on eBay.
Wouldn't you?
Right along with that cheese sandwich. Hey, if there's morons, listen, wouldn't you like to have a shrimp with Jesus on it?
Sure, who wouldn't?
And that's got a listing here of other Jesus image sightings. Jesus Rock draws hundreds of pilgrims. Seller see Jesus in sheet metal. Couple says fish bones bear Jesus image. Pictures of shower Jesus. Sisters see image of Jesus in paint on the wall. Pilgrims see Jesus face in an apartment window. And some see Jesus in a dental x-ray. Jesus is in your teeth, baby. And you're chewing on him. You know what I'm going to have? I'm going to make me some of that pasta.
Okay, good.
Some of that low-carb pasta, Greenfield.
Sure. Had some last night.
Haven't had set. Really?
Yeah. Have it like
I
3-4
got enough
times
to
a week.
sink the Chinese army. I bought so much of it.
I bought a
Good
case.
stuff. What I like to do is like slice up. I got this, not kielbasa, but like some kind of sausage. Slice it up.
Yeah.
Put it in the sauce. Mmm. At any rate. Former IDF chief says soldiers were sacrificed for spin. This is in your favorite Israeli newspaper, Haaretz.
Haaretz, yes.
Right. Former Chief of Staff Moshe Yaalon, Moshe, believes the Prime Minister and Chief of Staff of Israel should resign and the Defense Minister should be replaced for mismanaging the war in Lebanon. He says soldiers were sacrificed for spin. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Haaretz, which will be posted in tomorrow's magazine, Yaalon condemned the decision to launch the ground operation at the end of the war, in which 33 soldiers died. That was a spin move, Yaalon said. It had no substantive security political goal, only a spin goal. It was meant to supply the missing victory picture. You don't do that. You don't send soldiers out to carry out a futile mission after the political outcome's already been set. I consider that corrupt, he said. Corrupt. He said the Chief of Staff failed in the management of the war. He gave the political echelon the feeling he had the capability, which in practice he did not have, to bring about a political achievement by means of an extremely aggressive military operation. He entered the war without defining it as a war and maybe without understanding that it was a war. He didn't understand the implications of the measures he himself adopted. He didn't mobilize the reserves in time, didn't open the emergency depots in time, didn't activate the high command base. He managed the war from his orifice. He imposed missions such as Bint Jebel without any discussion and without consulting with the command about the consequences and implications. He created lack of clarity that rattled the forces in the field, caused a loss of trust, and generated chaos. He didn't give the commanders in the north backing. He didn't build a structure that would help him overcome his weakness in the land sphere. He managed the campaign arrogantly and shallowly and should have resigned immediately after the conclusion of the campaign. Other than that, he did a heck of a job, right?
Excellent.
Fabulous job. Not as good as Brownie, of course, but then again, who is?
What anti-Semitic rag did you read that out of?
The Israeli newspaper, Haaretz.
I see.
1200 and, what is it? 1232. See, if I'd have really leaned on the pedal there, we could have made 1300. But you know something? Does it really make a difference?
No.
You know what we ought to do? That could be our theme song now, the Buckinghams. You played it a few days ago. Why the hell were we talking? Oh, it was something about Susan. Remember we played Susan? You're looking for a cruising for a bruising? I don't care. That'll be our theme song by the Buckinghams.
They're the ones that did it?
They're not?
No, I don't know. It's not coming up that way.
Get out.
Oh, don't you care? No wonder.
What?
Don't you care is the Buckingham.
No, that's not it.
No.
No, that is, well, don't you care. That's a start, and then we can just go like that.
No.
No, we don't. We don't care. Mad Dog's coming along. We care about that at 2 o'clock, because otherwise we'd have to be sitting here forever. And then, of course, we got that hour of power in the shower.
The biggest names of
Body wash,
talent.
please. Don't be dropping that soap.
Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
My queen, God.
Oh.
All right.
Rectum.
Okay, 147. I think we started something. I started something
Yes,
really
you
new and
did.
exciting.
That's infectious.
It is. Well,
That's one of the ways.
Yeah. 1,242 votes on there. Oh, we could have easily done 13 today. Oh, man, I feel so bad. 13 for Matt Sundin. But anyway, John in L.A. Thank you, John. Faxes and says, and see, this is great. Now we can get all of our info, our input on the fax machine, man. I like faxes much better than calls.
Right. Or email. I'll print it up and send it to you.
Right, because with the faxes, I mean, you know, you look at it and it's either worthwhile. With the calls, to go through 200 to get one decent one,
I know.
it's not worth the effort, you know. It wastes too much time.
It's like that bit, Caller IQ. If only we had that.
Yeah, right. John in L.A. says a tri-tip, and you were really close, boy. You were right on. You were only about 4 million miles away. A tri-tip or triangle tip is a special cut of beef, which is popular for barbecue here in Southern California, says John in L.A. Thank you, John. Enjoy your meat. Isn't that great?
That's something.
We learned. Look at the stuff we learn on this show, man. It's educational. Not just about a bunch of stupid ball games and sweaty guys who take showers together and then check out each other's privates. I mean, what the hell is that? It sounds awfully gay to me. And what would I know about that?
Exactly, nothing.
Nothing. Something or someone you don't ever want to hear any more about. You just can't handle it. No more. You reach the saturation point. With Paris Hilton, man, she's killing the competition. 338. The War on Terror, 156. When the hell does it start already? Tom Cruise, 149. You know what that's like? It's like a war on happiness.
Right, exactly.
It's like a war on anger.
It's like a war on violence.
Oh, well, we don't want to do that. Why would we want to alter the history?
But we're going to use violence to get rid of the violence.
George W. Bush, 122. Don't you be anti-American again now, you anti-Semitic idiot. Baby Siri, 120. John Mark Carr, 110. Enough with him. Fruitcake. 9/11/84. Barry Bonds. See the big drop-off after 9/11? Barry Bonds. Now, that means that the rest of these, they can't get enough about. Barry Bonds, 43. Okay, maybe we'll play some more Barry Bonds bits. Piss Josh off. Mo Howard David, 34. Well, that's why I've been upping the Mo bits today. And also had the bald spot caller. That was great. I mean, talk about dumb. Huh. I hate this poll, 31, only 2.4%. Thank God we finally pleased them a little bit. You know, they're so tough. Israel, 26. So they want to hear a lot more about Israel, and I'm certainly going to, I'll be more than happy. Like the thing there about Moshe Pupik, whatever his name was, in Haaretz, and your Haaretz. Ann Coulter, 9. She's not doing nearly as well as I thought she would. Nancy Grace, 7. So in other words, the people on the bottom, see, this is backwards.
Oh, speaking of her.
Nancy Grace?
Yeah, check that email.
Oh, don't tell me she's on. Oh, now let's see. Is there an email? Nancy Grace, 7, Iraq 7, and Brad Pitt, 7. Email? Let me see if Josh's email ever came through with a picture.
Well, because I sent one too.
Oh, okay. It's loading.
Same thing.
It's loading. It's puking. It's thinking about it. See, I do the Windows Live Mail now, which slows it down just a couple of seconds, but there's nothing there.
Uh-oh.
No.
We got thesaurus.
But no, it must be on your end. I get look at all the other ones I got. TomPayne.com, Village Voice Newsletter, Inside Radio.
It's being very selective.
MoveOn.org, Adam Rubin. Rubin, I've been thinking that your emails are really stinking. I mean, what's the story, man?
I don't know.
I'm not getting stuff. Maybe Hotmail blows. Is that possible?
It's possible. I've never used it, so
well, why don't you try sending it to me on the Yahoo one?
Okay.
I mean, if at first you don't succeed, just get up and walk out. Public school students don't need to go to church on Sunday for a strong dose of religion, says this article. In some cases, according to a new study, they just have to show up for class. A year-long investigation by the Austin-based Texas Freedom Network found that the majority of Bible courses offered as electives in the state's high schools are devotional and sectarian in nature and not academic as required by a host of rulings from the U.S. Supreme Court on down. With a few notable exceptions, the public school courses currently taught in Texas often fail to meet minimal academic standards for teacher qualifications, curriculum, and academic rigor, promote one faith perspective over all others, and push an ideological agenda that is hostile to religious freedom, science, and public education, states the study, which is being made public today. What a surprise. The 76-page report titled Reading, Writing, and Religion, Teaching the Bible in Texas Public Schools is one of the most ambitious looks so far at Bible courses that have sprouted in the nation's public high schools. Next thing you know, they'll be bringing in Jesus, the shrimp with Jesus on it.
Jesus Christ.
On shrimp boats. The report was a joint effort by Mark Chancey, a biblical studies professor at SMU, and the Education Fund of the Texas Freedom Network, a group that works to counter the religious right. The report was endorsed by at least 8 mostly religious scholars from around the country. Wonder how Father Drynan's doing. Is he still alive? I used to have him on my show all the time. Robert Drynan, he was great.
Was he?
From Boston. A liberal Catholic priest. You remember Father Drynan?
No.
Oh, man, he used to just rip the church an ass. And the Pope, of course. You know, the slob on the slab?
Yeah.
The findings are sure to reignite debate on church-state boundaries as officials of some districts vow to stick with their Bible courses as is, regardless of outside criticism. In other words, don't confuse them with the facts, and certainly don't confuse them with the law. When do you stop asking the same questions, said Mike Atkins, spokesman for the Ector Independent School District, which includes the city of Odessa, which this year added a Bible elective based on the much-disputed National Council on Bible Curriculum in Public Schools. We're comfortable with the curriculum, he said. Our Board of Trustees have heard the arguments. In other words, we don't care. Screw you guys. We're good religious folks, so screw you. And, of course, if you read the Bible, it looks like that's what they spent most of their time doing.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's game time in Miami town.
Yes.
At 560 WQAM.
Oh, violence in the Middle East is at a level not seen there in decades. Israel is vowing to crush the militia called Hezbollah. They have bombed the home and headquarters of the leader of Hezbollah. Syed Hassan Nasrallah says his group is ready for open war with Israel.
Let's go out as the war is waged. Fights I've fought for decades. Won't back down in the Middle East. Oh, I beg for peace, praying Israel will keep their head. Shoot a missile, Hamas is dead. War of faith with no one safe. The road to peace must be paved, praying Jews and Islam. Jews.
Towns and villages hit, while artillery and warplanes hit back. Israeli leaders warned this could go on for weeks or even months.
Confusion in Lebanon, exploding walls in Hezbollah.
I'm dying over here.
Gonna march in and invade your home. When hatred stops, then there will be hope. Praying someone will part the seas, save us from this insanity. A start to lasting peace, just the start of World War III. Praying Jews and Islam, Jews to stop.
We're terrified, she says. We're suffering.
The goal now is to change the Lebanese politics.
The Lebanese army agreed to police the border. It didn't. Hezbollah moved in with up to 13,000 rockets aimed at Israel.
Bye, bye, bye!